live from under the grandstands at Turn 3 at Daytona International Speedway. This is the Basement Bench Warmers Podcast.
Yes, this is the Basement Bench Warmers Podcast, once again coming to you from the grandstand of what we usually do, what everybody had to do this past week. So, Ed, go ahead.
Sorry, guys, but I barely made it here again today. Barely, I mean, with the snow and everything. It took me longer to get here tonight because I used the Gorilla Glue to style my hair. Yeah, that wasn't the bad part. I needed something to fill all the bald spots, so I used grass clippings. I was out there digging for like hours just to get down to the grass.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah. Glenn, how about you?
Well, it's 2021. Wash, rinse, repeat. Every week is the same, but today is National Wisconsin Day. I think it's the second annual National Wisconsin Day. So happy National Wisconsin Day. Hope you had some some cheese and beers, which Eric will bring out later.
What did I do this last week? As always, played dart ball. But hey, I played a dart ball tournament this week. A 3-man. And we lost in 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
And now it's working.
Is it?
We're all together now. Everything's
wow,
working
look
now.
at that. Very nice.
Eric, how are you doing?
Well, as Glenn mentioned, it is National Wisconsin Day, and you know I've spent the weekend and most of today moving snow, getting ready for another snowstorm in my driveway, which tends to drift over like crazy. So I didn't write this poem. I picked out a poem for us for National Wisconsin Day. I didn't do an inspirational quote this week. Sorry. It's winter in Wisconsin, and the gentle breezes blow 70 miles an hour at 35 below. Oh, how I love Wisconsin. When snow's up to your butt, you take a breath of winter air and your nose gets frozen shut. Yes, the winter here is wonderful, so I guess I'll hang around. I could never leave Wisconsin because I'm frozen to the ground.
Nicely done. Where did you do that at?
The poet is anonymous.
Okay. Just checking.
Yeah.
National treasure.
National
For sure.
treasure.
National treasure.
Just
next-
like Jace.
It was probably Maya Angelou. She writes everything else.
So on tonight's show, we're going to have the beer of the week, a shower stall from Ed, Eric's beer of the week. Also, doesn't have a where are they now, but I have a where are they now. And it's only because we were talking about this player last week, and it popped in my head because I saw this. And then our fan poll is, what baseball stadium is on your bucket list, or where you've never been, you want to visit? That'll also be our snake draft. And then we're going to start something new this week with some lull in sports right now with just basketball going on before baseball. We're going to start our Mount Rushmore, each sports team in each league of different sports. So we're going to start with baseball first, Major League Baseball, and tonight will be the AL East we're going to be with. So that's what we got going on. We have some other things, possibly some random thoughts tonight. I got some topics I found also, but sports topics a few. Hop will be here, like I said earlier, and the NBA. Let's start with the NBA first. Real quick, yes, Glenn.
We got Jace here. Forgot to mention Jace.
Oh, yeah, Jace is here with us, too. Hey, Jace, how are you?
You didn't ask him what he did this weekend, like take all of our money.
Oh, yeah, what'd you do this weekend, Jace?
Well, I played Hold'em for the first time, and I took some candy from a baby, basically, as I beat out 5 adults and in Hold'em for the first time.
Did he just say beat out, right? Okay, just making sure.
That's okay. I'm going to hang you from your basketball hoop
Hold'em.
till all that change comes out of your pockets.
So with the NBA, let's talk about the NBA. And since Jay's talking, what are the couple of things you heard about the NBA today? A couple of things.
Well, it come out today that the Pistons and Blake Griffin have sort of talked it out, and they both agreed that he's not going to play until they restructure his contract, buy him out, or trade him to a team. And the Cavaliers have also engaged in trade talks with the Raptors to send Andre Drummond down to Toronto.
And then the other thing I have is we'll talk about the Bucks real quick. They're in a bit of a tough stretch right now. 3 in a row, lost to the Suns playoff team. They went to Utah against probably a number 1 or 2, possibly a 3 seed in the West, and it wasn't even a game. And then last night they lost to the 10-15 Oklahoma City Thunder without probably one of their top scorers, Alexander. So I got a question for you guys real quick. Giannis. The question I have about Giannis is this. Is he a boom or bust player at this point? Can he lead the Bucks to a title? What do you guys think? Can this guy? I mean, I know we've talked about this in the past, but honestly, he's making max money now. The team is not better than last year. I understand they lost players, but they also added parts. That the parts they added aren't playing bad. I mean, maybe they got to get, and their defense is terrible. That's not all Giannis' fault. But like the other night, we were talking about the game, and he had the last second shot against, I believe, the Suns, correct? And he missed it. And then people are like, why is he shooting that? I go, because he makes supermax money. He needs to make that. Doesn't matter who you get the ball to. And the question I have, and I know, Eric, I'm going to ask you first. I know your answer, what it might be, but I understand he's great to watch. I understand that he is, don't get me wrong, he's one of the most exciting players to see on the court when he plays. But can he win a championship without a jumper?
Okay, so to answer the question, boom or bust, there's no way he's a bust. He does.
Okay, wait, but I'm talking in comparison to guys like Kevin Durant, guys like LeBron, guys like that. I'm not comparing them to, I'm looking at the big picture, the whole thing from the.
Well, that when you mentioned Kevin Durant and LeBron, now we got to remember when Giannis is he's 25 years old. When Kevin Durant was 25 years old, he had no championships. They were, and he had a great team. He had a great cast around him, and they couldn't get over the top. LeBron, it took him forever. He had to create a super team with the Heat in order to win a championship. So those two comparisons are tough. I see what you're saying in developing the jumper. Yes, that's going to be key. And again, he's still developing. Yeah, I mean, if you're paying the guy a max contract and you have that last shot, and I stayed up for that game against the Suns, and to watch him, and he had plenty of time to pass the ball to Middleton, which is what I thought they should have done. But yeah, should we be thinking about that when we're paying this guy all this money and we're wanting him to be our superhero? It's tough. And you and I texted a little bit last night. They've been on the road for like 7 straight games now. And they actually won the first few. They lose to the Jazz. That's a tough opponent. The Suns are a tough opponent, and I think losing to the Thunder, they probably just their head was out of it. And now they're going to be home for 6 games. So if they could go home right now and win 6 straight, I think that that's a good sign. I definitely don't think he's a bust. There's no way. I just think it's going to take some time. There's also a transition going on. Drew Holiday's been out the last 7 or 8 games as well, and he's one of the guys you brought in to help. So they're going through a transition right now.
Would you say he might be the next Aaron Rodgers type? Seriously, I'm not trying to be. Well, I was trying to be funny, but he's almost ended up the same thing. I mean, even last night though, he put up, was it like 36, 17, 10? He had a triple double.
Yeah, triple double. I don't think he had 36.
It was crazy, the numbers though. Yeah. And I mean, last year and the year before, they did it in the regular season. They get to the playoffs and they're overwhelmed. I mean, they don't even look like they're on the same level.
Is he a complete player if he can go from, he's shooting 59%, from the free throw line. If he could get to 75%, and he could develop that little short to mid-range jumper, like Kevin Durant or Kevin Garnett, I mean, then he's a complete player because he could hit threes every now and then. He's not great, but I think those two things, if he could develop those two things over the next few years, he's definitely going to be an all-timer. And they will win a championship.
You bring something to note there when you're talking about his free throw percentage. You know what? I think he's going to be, he could be the next Shaq, but he definitely needs that Kobe in the crunch time. Because he's not that guy right now. Because right now, why not foul him? He's only going to make 50% of his shots, a little less or a little more than. But I definitely think he needs somebody a lot better, more clutch to be on his hip.
What was like, say, Shaq or say even going back like Abdul-Jabbar, those big guys, are they ever the clutch guy that gets the ball with 7 seconds to go to make the final shot? It's almost impossible for that.
Maybe Kareem.
They can't.
That's
create
because he actually had a shot.
Yeah, they can't create
Olajuwon,
distance.
he had a move.
But yeah, they're very rare. They're going to let the outside, well, especially in today's game, the outside guy's going to shoot it anyways.
I'm gonna go back to a point Eric made, and I'm once again, this isn't beating up Giannis, but I'm looking at this as will it be too late for the Bucks when he gets good? Will he still be here? Okay, and the second thing is that when Kevin Durant was losing with Westbrook and Harden and them, they were losing to the Miami Heat in the finals with LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. The Bucks have lost to Toronto, and I'm not knocking them, and they lost to the Heat the last 2 years in the playoffs. Those those teams are playing good, but it's like they found something, a formula to beat the Bucks. These are, and don't get me wrong,
they did.
They both won the championship. They went on to win the championship, so they were good teams. But you're beating, I don't know, the last two champions, if I'm correct, and last year's kind of was a weird year. But the last two champions were basically like almost like a model of not the NBA is now. They weren't like these teams that put together free agents. And I mean, Kawhi played for Toronto. I get that. He had a great finals. But remember, Van Fleet and who's the guy that just what's the other guy's name, Eric? The other shooter. That's
well, don't forget they have Siakam in the middle.
Yeah,
Who's a great
Lowry.
player.
Yeah, not Lowry, the other guy that shot well.
Drew Lowry,
but they shot really well as a team, and that's also. But remember, that's the key, and that was last year too. Every guy on the court could shoot and shoot well. The problem with the Bucks is that Giannis is their Achilles heel in shooting.
Well, yeah.
Well, think about it. Every guy can shoot.
Short to mid range, then, and that's what I throw last year out. I can't look at last year at all. I look at the Raptors more, and yeah, they figured out if they can stop him from driving into the lane, and he's going to dish it out, and unfortunately everybody else came up short. So yeah, I mean, you kind of need that, like Willie was saying, Shaq had Kobe, and there's a lot of other great players that had other very, very clutch players. I don't know who that clutch player is. Maybe it's Middleton. It's sometimes he's clutch and sometimes he's not. And there's been a couple games that Giannis has tried to be the clutch guy instead of, we saw it twice this year. He could have passed the other night to Middleton. Middleton was in the corner. He could have hit, there's a better percentage shot there wide open. And then that game we watched at your house a couple weeks ago where he could have easily dished it off to Middleton, and he's trying to take the shot right now. So that's another thing. If he's got to get that out of his head, if he knows he's confident, but yet he doesn't have the shot to go with his confidence. So he's really not clutch yet. And I think I'm reading all these chats on the side. You guys see those?
Yeah, Hop
is saying that Giannis is Kevin Garnett right now. Garnett was never clutch, but Garnett did have a little bit of a mid-range game. So I think that's what he needs to accomplish right now.
And Chris Line commented, same thing we're basically saying. Giannis needs a mid-range jumper. Until then, the Bucks will not move forward. Just going to keep building a wall.
Yeah, to me, though, he's a little like a hybrid Shaq. I mean, he's a low. No, he's not really low post, but he's only making shots from 3 feet away.
Shaq couldn't handle the ball like he does.
No, I know that he's like a hybrid, but his shots are at about the same distance as Shaq's.
Yeah.
And if they can stop and, like you said, put up the picket fence against him, But
Dennis Hopper there.
Yeah, I don't know what he can't kick it out to say Kobe and let him knock the shot down like everybody else has had that other guy.
Do you think the fact that he signed for the big money, he's pressing now a little bit? He thinks he should be more than
Hopefully.
what he is? Yeah, right. He needs to. He needs to earn that money, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think he might be a little pressure on him right now, And I keep coming back. He is young, But we've seen other Utes do more than what he's doing right now.
Yeah, to me, it almost like it's like kind of blaming like Kelsey for not getting a quick touchdown when he's not the guy throwing the ball down the field. He can only do certain things.
What about coaching? Budenholzer, is he?
Well, basketball is different because Giannis has the ball anytime he wants.
Yeah, but he can't. He's not going to knock down an 18-foot jumper clearing.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah, he can't. So he's
he
not that
doesn't
guy.
bring a defense to him. They're not respecting him in the shot. So what happens is they're gonna pack it down, and it's easier to get the 3-point shooters that way too.
Yeah, but just like a 6'3" guy can't drive to the hoop and just slam it over the top of 5 guys. He can't create space and knock down a 28-foot jumper. He's not that guy.
Well, how big is Curry?
I don't know.
Webb.
I don't know. But I mean, those guys,
I mean,
they can't just run in and like he does, take 7 steps from the three-point line and dunk.
That's a question, though. Would you rather have Curry or Giannis? I know Curry
To win a championship, you're saying?
Don't get me wrong. Curry had players around him. I mean, the first champion, he had Klay Thompson, but they didn't build that team. The only person they grabbed and took was Durant the second time around, or third time, whatever it was. But they were all drafted, so they did a good job when they did that.
Who would you rather have to win a championship than out of those two?
Out of who?
Curry and Giannis.
Man, this is a shooting league, man.
It's 2 different types of players. I mean,
and the thing is, it's becoming almost hack-a-shack with him.
Yeah, exactly, because that's his game.
Yeah.
Going to follow him, and you're not going to beat us.
Well, that'd be like playing Curry. Well, if he couldn't shoot from 60 or whatever he's been doing, putting just 5 guys out on the 3-point line and making them drive, essentially.
But
and
you can't do it. You can't do it though.
No, because he'll still shoot over you.
Well, but then people will get behind you and stuff. But yeah, I just thought to ask. I mean, like I said, I like Giannis.
No, it's a good
I
question.
don't want them to get rid of him, but I just.
No.
Well, no, I just want to say something else. Not about Giannis here. Why is Brook Lopez still starting when he has 2 points, 2 rebounds? And you got Bobby Portis coming off the bench for 21 points and 6 rebounds.
Eric was talking about it a couple weeks ago.
Why have we not switched? Bobby Portis is playing more minutes
defense.
than him.
It's defense,
Yeah.
Chase. I mean, Bobby Portis. I've been on this all year. I mean, Scott knows. Bobby Portis is way more productive on offense than Lopez has been. But Lopez is a better defensive player in the paint for sure. No, yeah, I mean Portis, I think, is the future of the team. If they could keep him around and then they could let Lopez go. I don't know what the salaries, how those 2 salaries compare, and the other guy is DiVincenzo, and Forbes was hot for a few games. Now he's kind of cooled off a little bit, but Forbes actually, by playing well, got DiVincenzo going a little bit. So the combination of the two. And the only reason DiVincenzo and Forbes have both been playing is, again, we're forgetting about Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday's been out for a couple weeks now, I believe, or at least 5 or 6 games because of whatever contact tracing with COVID or something. But, everybody's talking about Middleton being the number 2. I think we have 2 number 2s on the team. I think it should be Holiday and Middleton are the number 2s. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree. Yeah, of course we overpaid for Middleton. We overpay for every player. Every player in the NBA is overpaid. But Middleton's a solid player. I don't know why. I mean, he takes a lot of crap. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he's been doing better this year. He had 23 the other night.
He's an all-star. He's an all-star in my opinion. He's a good player.
So is the current concern for them not to make the playoffs? Is that what you're worried about, or just not doing well once they get there?
You have to win a championship.
Just win it all.
Bottom line.
Because you get there 2 years, 3 years in a row. Yeah.
You pay a guy Supermax money, you win championships. And the 2 teams lost the last few years. Hey, I don't think Kawhi, I could be wrong, was not a Supermax guy at the time. He was a 1-year deal guy or whatever he was, or 2-year. He wasn't Supermax. So these last few years, no Supermax guys were on the team, I believe.
Who was Miami's big star? Jimmy Butler, but he wasn't.
Well, I don't think he was a Supermax at that time.
No.
I mean, he may have been, but he wasn't making as much of the guys now. So you look at the teams, and that's what I look at. You pay a guy like Milwaukee, I mean, they're living on that new stadium, and what's going to happen with that once the shine goes off it, and they're, Giannis will fill the seats, and that's why they paid him. But I don't know. It's just a conversation.
And you can only sell so much elote, right?
Yeah.
Are we going to be bulldozing another?
They're going to raise elote to $10 now
Yeah.
to pay for his contract.
Are we going to be bulldozing another stadium before a championship, like the last one? We went a whole stadium without a championship.
They won a lot of
That's a
stadiums.
great
They
point.
won a
That's
lot
a
of
great point, man.
Now we're on our second stadium without a championship, and it's been 4 years now.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the NFL a little bit. And this question is the new one is about J.J. Watt. What do we think his next chapter is, and is he the next Reggie White? Because I really didn't realize this, but Reggie White played 9 years and became a free agent, just like J.J. Watt. So they're kind of crossing paths a little bit, which is kind of cool. the question I have for you guys is, what do you think the next chapter of J.J. Watt is? Now, I'm going to say one thing I'll say before I pass it on to whoever wants to. J.J. Watt is not in the same shape Reggie White was. Reggie White was not beat up physically. He didn't have a back surgery under his belt. I mean, he was still a fairly healthy player when he went there, besides the normal 9-year wear and tear. So I'm not going to say he's going to be Reggie White because Reggie White was a special player, and so was J.J. Watt when he was young. But what do you think the next step for him is? What do you think, or where do you think he's going to go even?
I personally like the idea of him going to Steelers to play with his brother. I just don't know that they need him.
I heard today the Bears. Somebody was mentioning because he fits in well there, and they said it would be a monster front defense. I don't know.
And I think his wife plays soccer in Chicago.
Yeah, she's for a professional soccer team.
Right there, yeah.
Maybe
right
like
there.
Reggie White, he'll start building a house in Kenosha.
And there was a picture of them where they were like spending Valentine's Day on a rooftop in Chicago.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't look in that. I don't read it.
No,
but yeah, I know. Yeah, I get it. His wife is here year round. She's got to be here, and I get it.
I think it's a great chance for him to be a Packer because why would you want to go home and have an opportunity to win a championship for your home state?
Yeah.
The Packers moved some money around today. Bakhtiari moved some of his bonus around, so I think they got $8 million more to spend or something.
Yeah. He didn't take a cut. He just got moved.
No, it moved around. I don't know.
He posted on social media, "You're welcome," and I'm like, "You didn't do nothing, but you just moved your money. You're still getting it's guaranteed still, but it's going to be spread out longer.
But
you're still getting a check."
Well, let's see if Rodgers does the same thing to try and win a championship because next year's the year they have to win.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, we never know. It's still time left in this offseason.
Did you not read the whole tweet? It was like, "You're welcome." He said, "Who wants to chug?"
Not Aaron Rodgers.
No, teetotaler.
Eric, what do you think?
Well, okay, so he's 32 years old. Well, do you think is he primarily been kind of a third down kind of guy? I mean, I think
he's been all four downs now. I think he has been still. He's playing all four downs.
Or
3
Chris
downs,
Klein
whatever.
just stole my thing. It's like Julius Peppers more in a way. You put him in a really, really, really good situation, which Peppers came into a good situation when he went to the Packers, and he was able to be successful. I mean, and I'm not gonna harp on the Packers. I would love to have him on the Packers.
Okay,
but it could be a good situation with Kenny Clark and with good edge rushers. Gary and Smith, and I don't know if Preston Smith hangs around. Then I think he's got to be in a really, really good situation, and he could be successful, kind of like Peppers was. And Reggie White obviously it was on a different level, but
yeah, J.J. Watt's run stopping abilities pretty solid. But I look at the Packers and kind of go, was pass rush their problem last year? I don't think it was. And the one thing too, if you sign J.J. Watt to a free agent contract, I'll just say it. How is Aaron Rodgers going to like that? More defensive players. Nobody to help me.
Then he doesn't lose when he puts up 31 points, though.
Yeah, that's true. I think he would be excited about somebody like that.
Plus he's good for the team.
And everybody always says Kenny Clark needs help. Like, Clark can't actually be as great as he really is because he doesn't have enough help. And would somebody like J.J. Watt help Kenny Clark? And we're talking about stopping the run, I think, more so than anything in Green Bay. And we do have the pass rushers, I know, but the more the merrier, I think. Yeah, I don't know.
There's a comment on the Packer Wire. It actually helps Smith, Clark, and Rashard Gary because it kind of – the more you add, the easier it makes it for everybody. So it kind of beefs it up a little bit.
Exactly.
Go back to the 85 Bears with that. Look how good that defense was, right? Everybody was good.
Yeah, the front seven was pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good.
They were good.
If everybody's great, everybody's job's easier, correct?
Yeah.
When you can rush a passer, you don't need good cornerbacks. Yeah. You can have mediocre cornerbacks and still succeed in the NFL.
You're saying Kevin King, right?
Nah, I didn't say it.
Yeah,
to be honest, when you're spending money in the NFL, I mean, if you can spend it on a good pass rush over cornerbacks, I think it might be justified. But I don't know. I think he's going to be going somewhere like really out of just strange, like the Colts or something. It's going to be something really weird that nobody's seeing and out there. It's going to be a team that is on the edge, that can win, that has money, and has a chance to win. I mean, they're on the edge. Maybe who knows?
The Rams,
freaking Rams. I mean, they keep grabbing these dudes, and maybe they will. I don't know.
Yeah, Peter King is actually guessing Buffalo.
Buffalo. I thought of Buffalo today. Actually, I really did.
Cleveland, Kansas City, Tennessee, Indy, and then you said the Colts, and then Green Bay. That's what Peter King is guessing.
Yeah,
This
Tampa.
guy want to play indoor, outdoor.
yeah,
Well,
just
if
Tampa.
you guess that many teams, you might get one right.
True. That's a fifth of the league. So
I do like the Bills, I do like the Bills a lot because they had no pass rush. That's one thing we talked about. Their pass rush was kind of not as strong as it could be. They got good linebackers, but the pass rush, you never know. I mean, it depends what you like. Willie said, you want to go play in Buffalo in December or in a dome in these? I don't know. Or do you just want to play with the best team possible, who you think can win? I mean, you got to look at that too. I mean,
Or do you want to play with your brother and, for the last couple of years? And
Do more. Oh, did you hear the Primanti brothers going to change the name of the restaurant if he goes there?
the Permani fellows.
Permani.
They serve it on wax paper with fries and stuff. The
You
burger
put
or whatever.
You put fries on the sandwich. Yeah.
It's served on a piece of wax paper.
gross.
Nice.
I don't know. I just think it's interesting. I mean, obviously, I don't think it'll play out. Well, it may play out quick. Who knows? Might know tomorrow. You never know. I guess stuff goes fast.
Oh, this just in. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know what the dates for. I know one date, March 9th is a big date for roster bonuses, I think, or March 12th, something weird.
Yeah.
So any guys that are getting traded, they're talking about trading, such as Wentz and guys like that. That'll happen by then because they owe them roster bonuses. Let's bring up Wentz real quick. That's something that came out too. What they thought they were going to get for him is not what they're going to get. Bears and the Colts supposedly will offer him second round picks, and that's all they're doing. Again, like I said, I think I don't know who said it. Maybe I did. But when you're trying to push somebody out, you don't want somebody.
Right.
Why am I going to give you? Why am I? And you know what? Are the Bears in a situation? We get him, great. If we don't, if the Colts get him, that's going to help them. Maybe, who knows? They're maybe closer. But I don't. Once again, I mean, why would I trade my future to get someone that you don't want? That you're going to have to pay. And now we all know by March, whatever it is, you got to pay him a bonus.
Exactly. You're like, why do you want to trade this guy? Oh, because I want to get somebody different.
Yeah.
Basically, it comes down to.
And like the Stafford deal. I'm sorry, the Stafford deal was different because if the Detroit Lions really wanted to, they could have said, "Screw it, let's keep him." We're just trying to help him out. We want to build new. They want to get rid of him, but it was like, well, if it came down to it, we'll just keep him. But they probably don't want to. But he's a better commodity too.
But if there were 10 teams going, we're looking at Wentz. We're down to pretty much 2 teams now, the Bears and the Colts. That's what you're hearing.
That's what they say.
That's what you're hearing. Now the rumor I heard is Wentz would rather go to the Colts. So
right.
now why are the Bears going to give up shit for him? Now they know it's down to one option, and if the Colts don't want him, Bears are going to get him. They should get him for nothing.
Well, the only way someone said we able to get a number one pick if there's a number one pick somehow, it'll be based on them eating money. And the Bears won't pay a bunch of the money. It'll go away. I just think that it's a weird situation what they did. I think they fired Doug Peterson. I don't know if there's a problem in the room with that. And then but the thing is, the Bears pursuing this means that Doug Peterson thinks he might be able to play because Peterson and Nagy are pretty good friends supposedly. And I'm sure they made a call and said, "Hey, what do you think about it?" Because Peterson has nothing to win or lose over this. He doesn't gain. He's not the coach. Oh yeah, he's great. Take him.
Isn't the quarterback coach the same?
Steve
too?
Filippo was he was the offensive coordinator, I believe, or quarterback coach in Philly when they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
the year his close to MVP year. So Eric, what do
So
you?
he knows what he's dealing with.
Yeah. But once again, he got fragile last year. He has that thing going. I don't know.
I don't know if I believe in Carson Wentz. First of all, Chris Klein is saying, "Why give up picks for Wentz? Could just keep Trubisky and give up nothing." So how much better is Carson Wentz than Mitchell Trubisky?
Carson Wentz was almost MVP. Trubisky will never be mentioned in the same sense as MVP. I don't think ever.
And you've said that a few times. When was he almost MVP?
The year he hurt himself. He was one of the finalists for the MVP that year.
That's 17.
That was the year they went to the Super Bowl and won when he didn't make the playoffs because he was hurt.
Yeah,
he was an MVP. He was an MVP.
So
candidate.
he's better than Trubisky. And so a second-round pick, you guys have second-round picks you can give up. I mean, the Colts. I mean, I guess it's going to come down to where he wants to go. And somebody just said he'd rather go to the Colts. I could kind of see that. Colts have a great defense. I think that's probably a good fit. And they have their head coach is very quarterback central. I mean, what's his name? The
Frank
third
Frank Reich. Yep.
Yeah. So to me, it makes more sense for him to go to the Colts, and the Colts are closer too than the Bears are. But I mean, obviously, the Bears still have, as always, are trying to figure out that quarterback position. What's Nick Foles? Is Nick Foles just gone? Is he out the door?
He'd be part of the trade.
Oh, he'd be part of the deal.
That's what they talked about.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if I was Carson Wentz, I'd go to Indianapolis. That's my take.
So he went from Carson Wentz being not good, but Frank Reich wants him to lead a Super Bowl team.
What's that?
Well, now we're saying he's not good, but then we're going to say Frank Reich will take him and lead a team to the Super Bowl.
Good. No, I don't think. I'm just saying if I was him, that's where I would go. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, bad quarterbacks can lead you to a Super Bowl. Flacco did.
Trent Dilfer.
McMahon.
There's tons of them.
Brad Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, we keep going for hours.
Well, what am I supposed to say? Oh, he should go to the Bears?
No. You started out by saying you don't like him, but you say he should go there because give him a chance to win the Super Bowl.
I'm just saying if I was Carson. No, I didn't say anything. Did I say? I said absolutely nothing about the Super
think you
Bowl.
did. Let's go back and listen to the tape.
I just said absolutely nothing about a Super Bowl. I just said if I was Carson Wentz, that's where I would go.
Oh yeah,
He's got a better shot, is what I said, because the defense is good. Well, the defense is good in Chicago too, but
He gets 8 games in a dome that way too. I mean, is that going to help him out rather than playing in shitty Philadelphia weather with fans
or Chicago
with fans throwing batteries and probably pooping in Philaduphia?
It always comes back to poop with you.
I know. I was thinking about it. I might get season tickets actually.
During the winter, it's frozen turds.
Yeah. Hey, you've been to games against Philadelphia. Those are some awful people.
They're the worst fan base next to the Raiders, hands down.
Oh,
the Oakland Raider fans. I don't know about Vegas. We haven't seen him yet, but
I would say next to one of those German guys, they used to have that weird symbol. Those guys were pretty bad. But
are you talking about Republicans?
Wow,
they're not all German.
yes,
because you're not laughing.
Oh, it wasn't funny.
That's the funniest thing you said all night.
Okay, so let's real quick listen to Jason's Sports Minute.
This is the Basement Benchwarmer Sports Minute. Hello there from under the Turn 3 grandstands at Daytona. And boy, it's a little wet down here. That's from all the rain, of course. The 2021 NASCAR season opened up on what was thought to be a sunny Sunday that turned out to be a crappy, rainy, thunderstormy day in Daytona. After 15 laps, the race was delayed. But within those 15 laps, lap 14 entitled a 16-car crash that ended multiple days for top racers, including the lead, Alex Bowman, who was the first to be ended. The Badgers' downward trend continued as they fell to the Wolverines 69-57, as the Badgers had a 12-point lead at half, and the Wolverines stormed back, playing lockdown defense and shooting the 3-ball. That was their return to the court following COVID protocols that resulted in the whole campus being shut down as a new strand was detected there. The Packers are the headline of dozen teams eyeing J.J. Watt this offseason. Shocking they're not looking for a quarterback, right, Eric? Patrick Mahomes headlines next season's MVP odds. Zach Ertz, longtime Eagles tight end, could either be released or traded this week, but we'll see because Carson Wentz is still there and he was supposed to be traded weeks ago. Buccaneers kicker Ryan Suckup is the first Mr. Irrelevant to win the Lombardi Trophy in NFL history. Sliding over to the baseball world, the Cubs are bringing back longtime starting pitcher Jake Arrieta, who threw 2 no-hitters for them, won the World Series in 2016. The Mariners are bringing back James Paxton, who also threw a no-hitter for them. Justin Turner resigns with the Dodgers. And some big news happened last week as the MLB and the Players Union have agreed on terms for a new season that will start spring training on time and have a 162-game season. And 7-inning doubleheaders will be brought back. Extra innings will have a runner start on second base. And there will be no universal DH this season, so those NL pitchers better get their swings in this offseason. And that was this week's Sports Minute.
So that was the sports hour. Are you awake, Eric? You can wake back up,
yes,
Eric.
We're on, yeah.
Oh, that was very, very informative, Jace. Thank you.
You did a fine job there, young
So
man.
Daytona, the Great American Race was yesterday. The winner, who was the winner? I'm sorry, I forgot already. He was a rookie,
Old
right?
McDonald.
Oh yeah,
Michael McDonald from
Doobie Brothers. It was
Yam will be there.
It was.
Yam will be there.
It was his first win ever, correct?
yes,
Yes, at the Daytona, big place to win.
Yeah.
Big place to win.
360 some races without a win, and he finally gets the checker flag.
Ryan Suckup, kind of interesting, winning the Super Bowl, Mr. Irrelevant, the first one ever, which is kind of surprising with the Buccaneers. So it's time to bring in. It's time for. Oh yes, Jace. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna go through the last events of what happened at Daytona. Joey Logano's leading, and they coming around the last turn, and number 4 car clips him and causes a big wreck, and then Michael McDowell comes through and takes the checkered flag. He was, I think, in 6th at the time, and he made it through and was about probably 5 cars ahead of closest person behind him.
You know, I went to Talladega 2 years in a row, and it was cool. It was cool. Don't get me wrong. It was interesting, fun to watch. But we saw it was the year Kevin Harvick's car went into the fence, and the fence caught it, the catch fence, and that's some scary. We were sitting like right at the top of that row right there. That's some scary crap. Those dudes are moving.
195 miles an hour.
He was moving. I'm like, man, that's crazy shit.
I was at Indy one time, last turn, the last group's coming around, and I want to say it was, this is back in the day, I think it was Guerrero. He hit that wall almost head on in the final turn. The same thing, man. It was like into the netting and just, it was crazy. I'm like, they could have killed like 40 people if it goes
shrapnel. Think about the shrapnel.
Yeah, it was nuts.
So what else in that sports minute? We got Hop coming out in a second. We'll talk baseball. And what else you thought? What else? Anybody remember anything else you talked about real quick? No? Top of your head? What else you talk about in that sports minute?
We had some baseball news in there.
No, we're not going to talk about that. Hop's coming, so we'll talk about Hop. Or with Hop, not about him. He's coming in. I think he can hear us. Can you hear us, Hop? Wave if you can hear us.
Willie, you got anything on the Wolverines?
No, Eric, not you.
Well, hey.
Oh, there he goes. He can hear us. Okay, so we're going to... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, we have a hot game tonight. Don't we have the Blackhawks and Red Wings tonight?
Yes.
Oh, back,
yes.
They got 2 in a row this week. Back-to-backs, I think, or whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Original 6.
That's right.
Well, let's bring in our friend, Mr. Hot Stove Hop. It's time for Hot Stove Hop. Hot Stove Hop.
That's awesome.
Hot Stove Hop. It's time. And it's time for Hot Stove Hop. Hop, how are you tonight?
I mean, I can hear Eric. Eric, can you hear me?
I could hear you, Hop. You sound great, buddy.
Thanks. So do you, but I can't hear the rest of the guys in the studio.
You look good too, by the way.
So you
So
can't you can't hear us.
Hey, KG is Giannis is KG right now when he was a Timberwolf.
Yeah, I get you on that. Not clutch, but KG did have the little mid-range
Baseball
jump.
or
Not until he got to the Celtics.
Oh, I guess it helps when you're playing with Hall of Famers. Let's talk Jake Arrieta.
Terrible.
I kind of think so too.
They're bringing back 16, so why not?
There he is. Wow, I got a different view of you now. Yeah, I mean, Hop and I are having a great conversation right now. It's awesome.
Glenn, stop waving.
So he can see us. That's good.
Testes?
1, 2.
We're talking
3.
about Jake Arrieta bringing back the
I mean, we're bringing back 16 if you're going to do
World
it, right?
Series championship. What is your fan poll answer here then?
Yeah, I missed it. I missed that on the post. Mine is San Francisco.
Yeah,
which it was Pac Bell, but I don't know what it is now, and PNC in Pittsburgh, which I think has changed now. I don't think it's PNC anymore.
those
are
I
my
looked it up
two
today.
stadiums.
I think it's still PNC. I think.
Yeah, those are my 2 stadiums.
Okay, so you've been to a ton of them, or what?
Most of the Midwest ones. I've been to Busch Stadium.
Busch.
I won't call it US or whatever G-rate field is.
Okay, so what is your favorite? Other than so you're a Twins fan. Other than is it Target? Is that what we call that place the Twins playing?
I mean, I'm going to go back to the Metrodome because that's where they won 2 World Series.
Yeah. Okay, so take away from your team though. What is your favorite park?
It's Pac Bell. There's nothing better than looking at that stadium and watching people hit bombs into the ocean, even if it was roided up Barry Bonds.
Like to be out there on a kayak, catching home run balls.
No.
Okay.
No, you get run over by
not without a life vest
or just a boat in general.
All right, so unfortunately, we're back to Arrieta, and Scott wants to know why you think it's a bad move. I mean, the dollar amount is only about $6 million. He's still got a little bit left in the tank. Why do you think it's a bad move?
I don't think it's all right. I think it's a bad move because they're bringing back 16, and and I just don't. He has the price is right for him. I just think that they could have dipped deeper into the pool. And the one thing that pisses me off about the Cubs is the fans want to bitch about being a good team or a good organization. And right now they're running their team like they're a mid-level team. The NL Central is right there for the taking, and they could have been in on Bauer. Whether you like him or not, they could have been on Bauer. They could have been on all the big name free agents, and they should have been in on all the big name free agents. They have no need to try and rebuild at this point. They still have enough depth and probably could still even win the division because really the only team that did anything was the Cardinals. The Brewers will be all right. But you have the Pirates and the Reds that gave up. Why run your team like you're a second-rate team? I mean, you're the third market in the United States. Why not be like the Yankees? Why not be like the Dodgers and stay in and go after guys? I get it. Guys are going to turn over. You're going to turn over Hayward. You're going to turn over Rizzo. You're going to turn over Bryant. But why just give up guys? Why run your team like you're a mid-market level team, like you're the Reds? Why even mess around with it? But I think that's what frustrates me about bringing back a guy like Arrieta. Arrieta would have been great if they would have signed 2 other starters. That would have been good.
Yeah, I mean, is he going to be your 4 or 5 pitcher? Maybe?
Yeah, but right now he's the 3 on the Cubs.
Yeah, I mean, but what he should be. Scott,
I think
go ahead, Hop. I'm sorry.
I think for a 4 or 5, or even a 3, if you have 2 really good number ones, I think Arrieta would have been a good signing. And I think the price is right. He's priced right at $6 million.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's what he's saying. So Ed, we're still harping on the Cubs.
Yeah.
Ed's wondering if what you're saying is if the Cubs would have kept Darvish, Quintana, and then bringing in a guy like Arrieta would have been huge, really. At $6 million a year, he could be the 4 or the 5 starter. Ed's just kind of clarifying.
Yeah, I think those are all great moves. Like, I mean, you had Darvish there. I mean, he might not have been a true number 1 like a Garrett Cole or people like that, but why move on from it because you're worried about every team lost money this year, so you're worried about that? I mean, they're going to make money. The fans are going to go to that park or to downtown in the Wrigley Field area. They're going to go there. It's inevitable. So you're going to make money.
The MLB teams are losing money hand over fist. Although, there's to kind of answer Ed's question, what about all these other teams that are going after these big time free agents? So I think what he's trying to say is that, the ownership with the Cubs are a little scared right now. Either losing money, but yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand. It sounds like you don't understand, Hop. I mean, they should be in some of these deals.
It's not that I don't understand. I think right now, and like Ed and I have talked about this before, I think they're running it like the Ricketts, or not Ricketts, excuse me. That's the Cubs organization. The McCourts, the Dodgers guys, where they spent money, but that dude was so in debt that by the time he sold to that Guggenheim partnership group that included Magic Johnson, those guys went out and just spent money. McCourt wouldn't spend money. He was taking all of his money that he was making from that team, and you're going to lose money, but he was taking all that money. He was just taking it and spending it on whichever house he wanted. Him and his wife had like 17 houses. And then when they divorced, he had to sell the team. Like I don't get why the Ricketts aren't spending money. Either they don't have the money or they're just choosing not to invest in this team at this point. And they're going to say, oh, we're going to rebuild like we did back in, when was Bryant drafted? 2010, 2000, somewhere in that time frame. It was right around there because I think he's about 6 years. They're like, oh, we'll just rebuild. Well, that doesn't always work. There's 2 teams that I think have completely scaled down and rebuilt back up from draft picks, and that's the Cubs, and that was the Astros. The Astros cheated a little bit, but they also had some good talent. If you look at Springer, Altuve, Bregman, and they brought in some guys too. So that's the way I look at the Cubs. It's frustrating. I'll be honest, I'm not even a Cubs fan. It's frustrating for me because I'd want my team to spend that money if they had that capital and that market to go into.
Shoemaker, $2 million for 1 year. Thoughts?
I think I don't, it's whatever. We're at I call it the Vegas portion of free agency. You're just rolling the dice on anybody that you're bringing in. You look at Shoemaker, you hope he stays healthy, eats up some innings. You look at the trades that were just made, Chris Davis for Elvis Andrus. They're just rolling the dice on guys that have lost favor with teams. It's injured or underperforming guys that are coming in. Who'd the Cubs just sign? Marcinick, and then Almirola, or not Almirola. I just watched NASCAR yesterday. Almora from from the Cubs went to the Mets. I mean, it's just underperforming guys that are moving around and injured guys. That's why you're seeing these guys signed for so little money. Big name guys left. Turner just signed, and the next big guy is Odorizzi, who didn't perform last year, and Tawan Walker from the Mariners, who really didn't perform last year either.
Do you think that Almora will end up being a steal?
I don't think so. I think his best years are behind. I think it gets overplayed because I think you see more guys flame out than actually do well. He might come out on fire. He might end up in the minors and come up have to play for a little while. Or they might just put him in the right platoon situation where they got Nemo playing center field as the lefty, and they've got Almora playing center field when it's left-handed pitchers. So I think it's just a matter of how much overexposure there is. Marwin Gonzalez just signed with the Red Sox. Versatile. They like that he can play everywhere. And last year he was overexposed by having to get 600 at-bats because he had to play. Oh, he didn't get 600 at-bats. So he only played 60 games. He would have if they played 162. But he got overexposed. He had to play too much for the Twins last year, and he didn't hit at all. So it really comes down to finding the right team, the right spot, and the right situation. Like guys are going to succeed. I mean, you watch Nelson Cruz; he's bounced around forever. Even going back to when he was still playing the outfield in Texas. But sometimes guys succeed. Most of the time, you see them flame out.
All right, Hop. But thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Hop.
Yeah, we'll talk to you guys later. I'll go back on the live and do chats.
Okay, cool.
You're the greatest, Hop.
Take care, Hop. So how about we, I don't know, what do you want to do next? Let's do, Eric, you want to do some beer?
Well, yeah, I can grab my beer or I could do my random thought.
Oh, yeah, go ahead with the random thought. Let's go ahead, hit it.
We may need a beer after that, but so we've been talking a little bit about doing this new segment called Random Thoughts by the Benchwarmers. So I have a random thought, and it's my random thought, and going back to last week's discussion about Tom Brady. So, you know the movie It's a Wonderful Life?
Yes.
What if they remade that movie starring Tom Brady? So did you guys see Tom get off the boat the other day? Kind of
Who didn't?
Stumbling around, after a day of disrespecting the Lombardi Trophy. So this is where the story begins. So I guess after a few Mas Agave seltzers and some bad ecstasy, Tom ran into his guardian angel. I don't know why he was so upset. Maybe Giselle wants him to move to Detroit or something. Anyway, he wishes he was never born. And his angel shows him the world without him. So what do you guys think he sees? It all starts at an engagement party for Super Bowl 45 and 55 MVP Aaron Rodgers. Who's the bride-to-be? Jake? She sounds hideous. Who's that with the weird haircut putting ketchup on his steak? No other than two-time Super Bowl champ Pat Mahomes. Sorry, Mom. Patrick. Next, they venture off to the Magic City Strip Club in Atlanta and can't help but notice all the Super Bowl 51 banners hanging on the walls. What is going on? And why is Lou Williams here? Is that beast mode over there flashing me the peace sign? Tom is starting to freak out now, but he feels better when he runs into Eli Manning, Nick Foles, and Phillip Rivers, all with one Super Bowl ring. But wait, Phillip Rivers? Yes, Tom, you weren't here to beat him, and he went on to beat Eli's Giants in one of the greatest games ever. So Tom's really exhausted, so they take a quick break and they turn on ESPN Plus to see the happiest quarterback in NFL history, Peyton Manning, talking about his 4 titles and how easy his career was, and the highlight of winning Super Bowls with 2 different teams. That will never be done again. Then he's recognizing this guy, the blonde-haired, ageless coach of the Oakland Raiders, that has now coached his team for 22 straight seasons after winning the back-to-back Super Bowls 36 and 37 with a journeyman quarterback against the greatest show on earth and a historical Bucks D. Just win, baby. He also sees a sports headline of all the teams to never win a Super Bowl, and it has the Patriots and the Buccaneers listed. Well, at least Tampa Bay got to host the big game. Brady can't take it anymore. He looks at his guardian angel and says, Billy, where's Billy? Oh, you're not going to like it, he says. He's just about to finish practice at South Boston High School. He can't bear to look at this old man dragging tackle sleds with his severely overweight assistant coaches Charlie and Bill. He runs towards Foxborough, and suddenly the X wears off, and he chants, let me live again, let me live again. He reaches into his pocket and finds 7 rings and a note from his beautiful wife that says, Tom, I'm sorry about our fight. You don't have to play for the Lions next year. We can stay in Tampa Bay. Enjoy the party, but stay away from Gronk. So that's my random thought for the week.
It's very good. It's almost, we could be called Random Dream. You know,
Yeah.
that's great.
It's a wonderful life.
That was like what do they call those? A manifesto? That thing was,
Ask the Unabomber.
that was awesome, Eric.
That was very good.
Actually, there's a segue into that. So, you're talking about the Super Bowl trophy. Well, here's a woman that, let's listen to this first. We'll talk about it after.
A lot of hours go into it. It just really upset me that this trophy was disgraced and disrespected by being thrown as if it was a real football. I didn't sleep for the past 2 nights because of this. I was that upset because I know the passion that goes into this trophy and how my dad and all his fellow silversmiths are so proud to make this. I personally would like an apology, not just to me and my family and the other silversmiths, but to the fans.
What the
Lorraine
hell?
Grow is her name.
I mean, Karen?
And her dad is one of the silversmiths that makes the trophy. Now,
So why would she get an apology?
I don't understand the concept, because if the NFL buys this trophy,
It's theirs.
and if I want to buy a 10-carat diamond ring and throw it in a river, I paid for it. Doesn't matter the guy that cut the diamond. I should apologize to him. I don't understand this.
Shlomo over at the Diamond.
And the way this country's going right now, she's lost sleep over this. Mm-hmm. And she was a fairly large woman, so it's like when the McRib went away. She probably lost sleep when that happened too. So
Can you really, if she's serious and she really lost sleep over this?
the only reason I played it because she said that.
I know. That's
I would have been like, okay, I
good
kind
God
of get
Almighty.
it. I
What
get
the
it.
hell are you thinking about
I mean,
here?
I don't like the part where she says, I would like an apology. It's like, who the heck are you?
Well, and the thing is,
Your dad made something. You didn't do shit.
Brady threw it. So he knows it's going to hit a receiver. It's not like Trubisky threw it.
that thing would have been bloop.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. You think Vince Lombardi's daughter's on here
And
somewhere?
Gronk would have been diving for it, or whoever.
Yeah. So yeah, I just played that because I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. No, it was absolutely horrific.
Hey,
These are the people in our society that get a voice now because of this social media.
right?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, like podcasts.
Hey, we're the new radio.
Yeah.
right.
We're the new and improved.
It's like 1930 again.
So let's talking about Eric. Any thoughts on the woman that lost sleep over the trophy being thrown in the air and caught and never damaged?
I mean, I don't understand her. It's ridiculous.
Do you know her?
You know, it's
I know
not
her.
like she's the one who spent all the time, creating that trophy. And she has to understand that the Mas-Agave seltzers and the ecstasy were really what what it was all about there.
I'm going to bet that dude had like 3 drinks, Tom Brady. Yeah. Because that dude never drinks nothing.
He's a
3
total
seltzers.
lightweight. And he, obviously he's so healthy that, when he does let loose and party a little bit, he gets a little crazy. Yeah.
How'd you like to bet his handler?
He was
that
wobbly,
day?
though.
Yeah.
The only time he's a heavyweight when he's wearing all his rings.
That's right.
It's the only time.
You know what upsets me the most? It's not like it was the Stanley Cup. This is the stupid Super Bowl trophy. It's only been around for 8 years?
Right. What do they do with the Stanley Cup?
Yeah, they bang it around, drink out it. They throw it off buildings.
Yeah. Ludwig dropped it, and it hit the side of a pool off of a second story and put a huge dent in it. And he's a Wisconsin guy.
Well, Alex Ovechkin, when he won it, he was drunk, passed out with it in a Washington D.C. park fountain.
And the guy that played for Pittsburgh, he got family that lives up in Door County. He ate ice cream out of Wilson's.
Nice.
Out of it. So.
And I think the story is, Gronk dented the first trophy or one of the earlier one of the trophies. He dented it.
That was the one 2 years ago, the year Gronk retired. They're at Fenway for the first pitch, and they were in a tent outside or something, and somebody threw a baseball at it, and you went to hit, and there's still a dent in it, and they still have it at the Patriot Stadium.
The big question is, how did they find a jelly bean big enough to hold ice cream at Wilson's for that? That's a big trophy.
I know, it is. You have to have that jelly bean. You are correct, sir.
So, yes.
Yeah, so her father actually crafted the very first Lombardi trophy. So it's not like he made that one or anything near then. Yeah, and then the Bucks GM replied with a Twitter response from Lighten Up Francis from Stripes. Yeah, the GIF.
Well, I think it's Vinatieri when you see him on McAfee or whatever. He's got 3 of them or 4 of them in the background. So I don't know if those are replicas. I'm guessing
the team might get him a replica maybe.
Yeah,
to have.
So it's not the Stanley Cup. I mean that thing gets the shit kicked out of it.
Yeah,
right.
And they've got multiples. They fix them all the time.
Well, and is the Stanley Cup? They add to it, right?
Yeah,
it's one cup. They just keep making it bigger.
Adding it to it. You get teams.
There's multiple cups though. There's not just one.
Yeah, you get to keep the Lombardi Trophy. I mean, it's not like the Stanley Cup or the Claret Jug with the British Open. That's something that kind of gets inscribed every year with the new champion, and
it moves on.
Ask Karen if her dad got paid.
No, that's what I said. It's yours. He said, it's yours. Yeah. Well, I mean, they bought it. It's not like they gave it to him for free and said, just don't damage it. You can have it. It's not on layaway or something or lease.
Eric, this is like marketing. They're marketing their business.
Mm-hmm.
And, exactly. Even bad news is still good publicity. So
the guy's not alive anymore. The dad, he's gone.
Okay. Right.
I mean, I would imagine. He
couldn't
have been young back in 50 years ago.
Yeah. Then who?
Well, he could still be alive. The guy that the groundskeeper was there this year for the first Super Bowl. He did everyone since, so he could still be. I mean, he could. Yeah, you never know.
It's true.
Yeah. So speaking of odd people, I got something else here for you guys, and you're going to see. The woman's name is Tessica Brown. She decided that she would use Gorilla Glue instead of hairspray and a Gorilla Glue spray. Okay, there's Tessica.
On her eyelashes too?
And those are awesome lashes.
And the thing is, her hair became so stuck she had like some kind of procedure to get it off. And now she wants to sue Gorilla Glue.
Well, did you guys see the whole fallout from all this? And it's a bunch of crap. It's just like when kids start eating Tide Pods. Now Gorilla Glue's got this branding problem, because it's wrecking people's hairs. We got to go. So the rumor is that they're like any of the other woke companies. They're gonna actually change their branding and their logo to make it more palatable to customers, and at the same time, they're going to hire an unemployed person of color. You guessed it. Aunt Jemima's replacing them. She didn't have a job. But now you're going to have Aunt Jemima on a bottle of brown glue, so people might be eating it in their pancake. They don't think this stuff out well. So.
Right.
No.
You know why she used Gorilla Glue, right? Because she ran out of the Got to Be Glued hair gel. So, I mean, if it's all glue, it's all going to work the same. Seriously, that's why she went to Gorilla Glue.
Yeah, and that stuff's like That's like polyurethane glue too.
Yeah,
That
right,
stuff.
it's right.
That
It
stuff's
was like
good.
they were. I read the whole article about how they had to work through getting through that helmet of polyurethane.
Yeah, it's. I haven't even seen. That was the first thing I've seen on this. I kind of heard a rumor, but I'm sitting there thinking, I'm going, man, I buy that stuff because it's polyurethane. It holds once it tightens up.
Hell yeah.
Well, you think she would have tested it on something first, right? I mean, that'd be the smart thing to do. I mean, and I've used Gorilla Glue. That stuff, I mean, you get a little bit on your fingers or whatever. It's like there for so long, and you're really working to get it off. Test it on a small area. For her to do her whole head like that,
A little V-shaped area.
yeah, just like maybe a little smudge here, see what happens. I don't know.
Yeah, so she used it in her hair, and it was
Tink, tink, tink.
really strange.
That was actually my closing thing. I had to use it there because you brought it up.
Oh,
I didn't know if anyone was going to bring that up.
I apologize. I just,
No, it worked perfect. Actually,
I just thought it was very interesting. It was not a great story. Just, I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what we do in America to try to make a buck, I guess.
Yeah, because she's merchandising herself now.
Oh yeah,
Bonded for life is what her shirt says.
okay. No.
meanwhile, Gorilla Glue is getting all this crap. Yeah.
Well, they
for
came out.
not putting a thing. Don't put it in your
No,
hair.
it says in the statement it's only for it. There's on the bottle it says not for
Human
on your
consumption.
body or something or not like well
It's like a spray tack
and
you use.
yeah, and Gorilla
Yeah.
Glue is like the evil step brother of super glue.
Right.
Gorilla Glue is ridiculous.
Right.
Like crazy.
Yep.
And
It doesn't set up fast, but once it does set,
Oh.
it sticks.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Gorilla Glue is faster, but the long run, whoa. I mean, Super Glue is faster, but Gorilla Glue, in the long run, whoa. I mean, I don't know what she was thinking, but
It's America.
yeah.
You don't have to think anymore.
Yeah, there's no.
Yeah, people like that just need a douche with Gorilla Glue.
Blame other people for your faults.
So let's talk about. Well, Eric stepped out. Let's talk about a couple things real quick, and he may have something to say. Well, let me talk about this guy. I'm gonna talk about this guy, and his name is Mark Cuban.
Oh boy.
It was going to be my end of the bench, but I just want to go off the cuff with it. So this guy decided to not play the national anthem before games, and nobody knew about it. The NBA had no idea that he was doing this, and all the NBA did was they did tell him he had to play it, but if I'm incorrect, correct me. Was there a fine levied against him for not doing it? Was anything done, to penalize the team or the organization? I mean, the bottom line is I don't understand what this song did to anybody. and the next night, there's various stadiums, maybe them all, but I know I saw it. They were celebrating Chinese New Year in the stadiums. And I believe there's something going. I believe they're going to have jerseys in a week or something. It could be
with the ox on it.
They're going to have Chinese New Year themed jerseys, which could be wrong. They already wear the Chinese jerseys. We just don't know. But with this said, I don't know what's going on with this guy. I mean, where is the checks and balances of all this? I mean, nobody knew. The only reason they found out is because they allowed. I believe they allowed healthcare workers in, and I'm guessing one of the healthcare workers blew the whistle. But no employee, no player, no coach said a word. It just went on. Not playing the national anthem in a stadium when you're supposed to. It's in the rules. And the referees, aren't they part of talking about the rules? They should know the rule book. It's in the rule book. You have to play national anthem and you have to stand. It's in the NBA rule book. So aren't they all at some type of shouldn't they all be in some type of trouble at this point for allowing it?
Kind of take the devil's advocate here. So do you think he's tired of watching people not treat the national anthem the right way? He's like, you know what? If you're not going to do it the right way, then I'm not going to give you the opportunity to do that. That's one of the first things I thought about. I mean, because he's always seemed like a pretty decent guy to me, but just a thought.
No, his statement was that he and the CEO felt that the national anthem didn't represent their community.
Okay, all right. I didn't read.
And this is Dallas. This is Dallas, Texas, right?
USA.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Yeah, that's completely different. See,
Is he moving?
I even said when this all started, it wouldn't be a bad idea if they're going to have all these problems is just not play the anthem before the games. Then you should also ban no black national anthem, no kid with cancer throwing out the first pitch for, a pink ribbon, or no soldiers standing out there with their kids running up. Play the games and don't worry about it. But when you say it doesn't represent your community, it's like, get the fuck out of this country then. Seriously, if this doesn't represent the United States, what does the national anthem represent if it doesn't represent the United States or your community? What does your community represent then? I don't get it when you say that. That kind of actually pissed me off a little bit. I was actually on the side for a little bit there.
Nope, that's what he said.
Then I kind of snapped.
So, Eric, anything on that?
Well, I thought the same thing at first, like Willie said, that maybe he was just like, you know what, I'm sick of watching all these people either kneel or not come out or whatever, that I'm just not going to play it anymore. But, yeah, then I did hear that statement that it didn't fit the community. And then it seemed like he's kind of backpedaling on this whole thing and just really not.
Really?
Of course he's backpedaling. He's a sellout.
It's a bad look for him, a bad look for the organization. And, yeah, I mean, it's this is America, and this is and it's a rule. This is a rule. Play the national anthem. I don't know. I guess I don't know what he's really thinking, and not that I ever really admired the guy, but I just felt like he was better than that. Mm-hmm. So it pisses me off big time.
Well, out of anybody in this country, isn't he the model of the American dream?
The entrepreneur, yeah.
He's a tech guy with nothing, and he's a billionaire now.
Broadcast.com.
Yeah, I mean, he used every part of the United States of America to become rich, and I don't know.
Do you think
this is what money does to people's brains? Then I mean, he's been a billionaire for so long, and he's just not.
Well, and they get into a group where they hang out with these other elitists that look at us like pieces of garbage. And you see it in Hollywood and everywhere else. Some kid from Indianapolis ends up being an actor in Hollywood. It takes 6 years of, working in waitressing, hits that one big job, and they become a millionaire. Next thing you know, they're George Clooney buying resorts in, Italy, and they look down on us like we're garbage. And they were just with us a few minutes ago,
Hey, are Cuban's days, on Shark Tank, are they marked,
No, I doubt it. No,
you know what?
He won't get protested.
He's bringing in more notoriety, right?
No, he won't get protested or blacklisted or whitelisted or whatever they do now.
Canceled,
yeah, woke or whatever. I don't know. He won't get shit.
Roseanne, what'd she do?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I just thought I'd bring it up. I mean, it's kind of a sports topic. I didn't understand it when I heard it, and to go X amount of games without playing it, it's just kind of weird. It's almost. They knew what they were doing, and they just kept doing it until they got caught, and the NBA just said,
yeah,
okay, you got to play it, because tomorrow we're celebrating Chinese New Year, so you better play it.
Right. Yeah, they just found out at Wrigley Field, they were using aluminum bats, too, all year.
Yeah.
You just noticed that.
Yeah.
I like beer because it is good. I drink beer because I should. If there was a song to sing, I sing it and beer you bring. I drink beer when I am sad, because the beer, it makes me glad. Now there's nothing left to say, so let's go drink beer. Beer is good! Beer is good! Beer is good!
So as you guys know, yesterday was Valentine's Day, and I'm kind of bummed out that I didn't get to be with my Valentine, and I can't be with my Valentine tonight either. So, Willie, this beer is for you, buddy.
All right, buddy.
Drecker. Drecker Brewing out of Fargo, North Dakota, and it's called Cuddle Buddy. So it's a double IPA. It's a super soft double IPA brewed with Mosaic, Sabro, and Belma hops that'll just warm your heart with massive flavors of cantaloupe, lemon, and melon. And if you look closely here, guys, it's hard to see. There's actually a picture of my Cuddle Buddy Willie. You see him? Kind of, he's just maybe in a few years. But, I just figured it's Valentine's Day, so something sweet, something soft, much like Mike Wilson.
Cantaloupes and melons.
Brewing. What's that?
Cantaloupes and melons.
Cantaloupes and melons, baby.
That's right.
So happy Valentine's Day, happy President's Day, happy Wisconsin Day, although this beer's out of North Dakota. So Drecker Brewing Cuddle Buddy. Cheers.
How is it? Would you drink 2 or 3 in one setting?
No, it's pretty rich. It's like a 9% double IPA.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
It's what do I always say about the double IPA is you drink one, and then you drink a second one and you take a nap.
There you go.
That's kind of where it's at.
That's why they call it Cuddle Buddy. So then you can drink them and be cuddle buddies.
Yes, absolutely. So it's good beer. Yeah, it's tasty.
Good
A lot of flavor.
Mardi Gras
Am I
beer.
the guy in the green on the can? Or
Yeah, sorry, Willie. I
Yeah,
just,
it's all
you
right.
know,
All right.
Yeah,
I gave you love and then I crushed you.
I just pulled up a picture of it for him.
Right.
So
Cuddle buddy.
we got to bring that next time, Eric, so we can try it.
Yeah, it's been around, so I'll bring a 4-pack of it next time,
And then cuddle.
So
and then we could all cuddle.
This guy's got lots of couches.
So before we hop into the shower stall, I got a couple of things to pass on. And today we found out Vincent Jackson was found dead in a Tampa hotel. He was 38 years old, ex-Charger, ex-Buccaneer. Police are investigating, so I'm guessing it's not natural causes. Great NFL, 38, fairly young. I thought he was in the league longer than that, but he's 38. So good NFL receiver, big, long-bodied receiver. Condolence to his family.
Vincent Jackson, huh?
Yeah, Vincent Jackson.
Yeah.
Wow.
Huh.
Yeah. And then yep. Go ahead, Eric. Sorry.
I read that a little bit before we went on the air that he passed, and there was something strange. So first of all, they said that they didn't suspect any foul play, but then there was a story about him, like his family had filed a missing persons on him, but then they located him and he was fine, and then a day later he died. So there's something weird going on in this story. It's going to be interesting to see what all happened.
Any evidence, like 7 Super Bowl rings laying there, or
no, just a note from his wife.
Whenever it's found at an hotel, it's never probably a good thing.
The police were investigating his cause of death. It is still unknown at the point. They haven't really released a statement on what they believe it is, so that'll be coming in the future.
And another unfortunate note to pass on, Marty Schottenheimer passed away this past week at 77. I believe Alzheimer's, correct?
I believe you're right.
The Washington Post, or Times, classy as they are, Washington Post, their headline was, NFL coach whose teams wilted in playoffs dies at 77.
yeah,
That was their headline.
disgraceful.
Why don't you go tip over his coffin at the funeral while you're ahead? What are we doing? What are we doing? You don't have to hate him. He's not Trump, okay? You can be nice to the guy, okay? It's okay. One of my favorite coaches of all time, we have a buddy of ours. They call him Shoddy, and the reason they call him Shoddy because he's very conservative, which that's what Marty Schottenheimer was, a very conservative coach. And I one of my favorite coaches of all time. He really is. I was a big fan of Schottenheimer. Anything from anybody about Marty Schottenheimer you remember, or anything?
I love the fact that to put his name on the back of the jersey, he went from one armpit to the other armpit. I think there's I think I put a picture out there somewhere of that.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, I did see it. Yes. Great coach, though.
Oh yeah, I mean he was just
Rest in peace.
Yep.
Rest in peace, you wilter.
That's terrible.
You playoff wilter.
God, that was disgraceful. You sent that to me. I thought it was like a Babylon Bee thing.
No, I
or
looked
something.
around and it was legit.
I thought it was off the Onion.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Even the onion isn't that bad.
No, not at all.
Everybody in the shower! Anybody in the shower in 10 seconds gonna get fined $100! Larry!
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi,
Get in
5
there.
Mississippi,
Hurry it up.
6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi.
Well, I'm going to just sound angry tonight, which is like, well, every night.
Is that first?
Yeah. Remember a few months back when we talked about Quaker Oats after they changed the name of Aunt Jemima syrup because somebody suddenly came to the conclusion that it is racist? After months of research by highly educated individuals way more woke than myself, they changed the name now to Pearl Milling Company. Talk about brand recognition. Could somebody please pass the Pearl Milling Company? My flapjacks are thirsty. Oh, and please pass the I can't believe it's not a creamery facility. To be fair, Pearl Milling Company is the name of the original company that created the Aunt Jemima brand. Its owners were huge fans of the super-duper racist minstrel shows, especially the one with the character named Jemima, hence the name of the syrup. So these marketing geniuses hired by Quaker Oats decided to honor two huge racists so as not to offend pansies who need a safe space when they see statues of great Americans such as Abraham Lincoln and George Washington. They were not done yet. After these woke marketers stopped patting themselves on the back for the catchy name, they still had to come up with an instantly recognizable logo. And what logo entices finicky shoppers more than a grain mill? Pretty vanilla, right? Now, grain mills were manned by slaves and poor black people back in those days. They were notorious for their horrible working conditions. This marketing team would have known this if they would have went to a university that hadn't banned history. How did Quaker Oats choose this marketing campaign? Seriously, what idea finished second? Al Jolson's thick brown pancake topping? Can you imagine the team's winning pitch? Listen, everyone, we got it. We've got it. We changed the name to a company started by racists. Whoa, wait, we're not done yet. We're not done. Now picture the logo of a facility housing slaves in it. More woke stupidity. Send me some Mrs. Butterworths. What an epic syrup fail.
So that was Ed Showerstall.
Sorry, I do sound angry tonight, though.
That's all right.
I can't wait to have waffles in the morning.
Mrs. Butterworth.
Pass the PMC, please.
Yes.
Pearl Milling Company. Sounds delicious.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Klein on our chat mentioned Bernie Carr's Schottenheimer must have made. He's talking about Marty Schottenheimer made Bernie Kosar a god in Cleveland. That's pretty possible.
You are correct, sir.
You are correct, sir. So Willie doesn't have a word now, but I got one for you guys to be short and sweet. But I just want to do it because I get to play. I get to play the music.
Willie, DJ Scooter. Scooter. Willie. Scooter. Willie.
We were talking about this guy last week, Calvin Johnson. We know his. I'm not going to give the whole. I'm going to tell you who it is right off the bat. Super Bowl. I'm not a Super Bowl winner. I apologize. Hall of Famer now. One of the youngest ever, 35 and under. One of the few that have done that. But do you guys know what he's doing now? Anybody know what Calvin Johnson's doing now? I actually saw this.
I asked this last week.
That's when I saw it. I thought of you. Actually, I thought of you. Ed.
No idea.
That's what he's doing.
Finally, I'm contributing the
Unless
show.
I've been sleeping for 47 years.
He played with a player named, I believe his name was Kenneth Sims, was a Detroit Lion. He not Billy Sims though, another Sims.
Not Billy Sims.
But they actually run. They are making pot. In Michigan, they are dispensary. They're running this whole thing. They're selling pot to dispensary. So, short and sweet. Calvin Johnson is in the pot selling business.
No,
legally.
No pro football players can sell pot in Wisconsin, correct?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
One day.
It's on the docket.
It's on the docket. So yeah, that was just short and sweet. I just want to play the music.
What's the name of their business? Did you get that?
I did not look. Maybe we'll find out.
We'll look it up.
Yeah.
We got.
What would be the first Wisconsin one? You have like Johnny Jolly's,
right?
I don't know.
I think the business name is Mega Bud.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
is it really?
I don't know. Take a shot.
Mega Bud.
Megatron.
That'd be awesome.
I don't know. Just roll with it, Willie. Come on.
I tell you what. When I'm in Michigan in a couple weeks, I'll get you.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'll get you something from there.
Yeah.
Is the guy named Sims?
Yeah.
Is his name
Rob Sims?
Oh, Rob Sims. I'm sorry, Rob Sims.
Yeah, I'll take some gummies.
And what's the
in
name?
Weberville, which is not too far from where I grew up in Lennon, Michigan.
So yeah, that is what Calvin Johnson is doing now.
Give me gummies because I'm on a diet. I don't want any chocolate bars.
Okay, I'll get you some.
Yeah, I want to win this
for
thing.
medicinal purposes, right?
Absolutely.
No.
Absolutely.
Only medicinal.
I want to put them in Amber's coffee when I get home.
Just like this is.
I feel like I've been roofied again. Let's go. What?
So this week's fan poll was going to be the same as our. And I'm not going to check if I didn't even check because I don't know if I published it. So maybe
I don't think you did publish it.
I thought I wrote. I did not publish it, so I apologize to our 6 listeners, 5 now. I apologize, but real quick, if you're listening on here, real quick, throw it up here for us. We'll give you a shout out. The question is, what what's your bucket list baseball stadium, if you have one that you haven't been to, one you like to visit? So we're going to do a snake draft tonight on that. We're going to start off with Ed as usual. We'll go with Ed, Eric on the screen, and what's going on the table. Okay,
These are ours.
yeah, we're gonna do ours, and I'll throw out a shout out. I'll the people listening, I'll do theirs. So I'm gonna do theirs if they throw them out there. And I'll throw mine in, but whatever. Go ahead, Ed. Go ahead.
I'll go Camden Yards. I always want to go there.
Okay, nice.
Been there.
Don't want to get shot, but I want to go to Camden Yards.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Mine is Fenway. I've never been to Fenway. It'd be a dream. I've never been to Boston. I'd also like to be there. So
Boston.
We'll
Been
go,
there. Is that what we're doing?
Boston.
Eric. We're going once it opens back up.
Yeah, I want to go to Boston.
That's number 2 on my list.
It's awesome. Great story about that place. If you want to hear it.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was there for Sunday night baseball against the Yankees Red Sox. Future Hall of Famer Kurt Schilling, as Hop would say, was there doing the Sunday broadcast, so we got to kind of chat with him during the break. I bought scalp tickets. If you've seen that movie Fever Pitch with Jimmy Fallon, I swear to God I was in those exact same seats, 10 rows off. Wow. Every time there was a left-handed hitter, my buddies texted me with the picture from ESPN saying, hey, there you are again, because I wore red just so I would stand out. It was a pretty cool experience.
You wore red to stand out at a Boston game.
Believe it or not. Hey, believe it or
Boston
not.
red, but blood red.
I was thinking the same thing.
Touche. But I did. Because,
Okay, it might have worked.
yeah.
Next time, wear lime green.
To a Seahawk game. No, Willie, go ahead.
Dodger Stadium.
Been there.
Would love to go on there and just be there when Vin Scully's still announcing the game.
We can't do that now.
I know you can't, but it would be awesome, wouldn't it?
Yeah, would have been.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to AmFam Park. It's a new name.
Where is that one?
Milwaukee.
What?
Oh,
Where the
Jesus.
hell is that? Miller Park, you mean?
I was going to say, it sounds like a dump.
Chris Crows, what do you think? Miller Park?
No, I there's so many. We took all the good ones, so I'm kind of stuck.
Oh, there's still some left.
I didn't write any downs. Oh, you know what? I know, because Eric talks about it. He can say been there. I forgot the name. Well, the Padres play. What's the name of the place? Petco.
Petco,
yeah.
Petco is my first one.
Petco's awesome.
I want to go to the beer alley. Eric talks about it all the time.
13 breweries.
And I like to be able to sit in the pool at a Diamondback game.
Oh, awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Are we going to have fans this year or no?
Yeah, I think they're moving toward it. Small
Because I'm
percentage to start.
I'm going to be in Arizona after opening day.
Okay.
So.
Yes, Jace?
I know for fans, the MLB said you can have fans. It's just up to every team, and like the regulations of the city and government.
It's going to be the state. Yeah.
And I know in Florida, I think spring training, all those stadiums are open. It's just limited
capacity. Yeah.
I'll be down there too when it opens.
I saw today that the Brewers are going to be allowed to have at their spring training facility like 20%, something like that.
That's
so.
I wonder if like baseball is going to like police them a little bit so they don't gouge people for prices. I mean, are they going to triple their prices because they only got 20 or five times their prices because they only got 20%?
Well, the NBA wouldn't even know what's going on.
Yeah, yeah, good one.
Yankee Stadium.
Oh, there you go. Good call.
I've not been there.
Ed,
I've been there.
there you go.
He's been there, yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. It's like a big mall now, the new one. But it's kind of cool.
It's got a TCBY in it, and or whatever.
The
it's
food
called.
was awesome there, but it was like $20 for anything. It was crazy. And there were guys with like machine guns standing around outside, so it was kind of weird. But that's New York.
So this is. I would love to go to. Now it's called Oracle, in San Francisco.
Oh,
so
jeez.
I don't want to be in a kayak. I want to be in the actual stands. So
It's at AmFam Oracle Park. At Peck.
It was Pac Bell
Yeah,
back in
who
the
knows?
day. Now it's Oracle.
Let's see. Dodger Stadium's already went. Pac Bell. That Pittsburgh one, was that Heinz Field? Or PNC?
PNC, yeah.
Yeah, that one looks pretty cool with the bridge and the yellow out in the background.
I've been next door to Heinz. It's pretty cool looking.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks nice down there. I'm trying to think of what's another one I'd like to go to. I mean, I'd like to go to Comiskey. I've never been to Comiskey.
Oh, really?
I've never been to Comiskey.
Oh, that's
The
cool.
new one or the old one.
It's a
Back
cool
me up,
park. I
Comiskey,
like
that
it.
was
I
cool.
like
No,
it.
it was funny when I was younger and I
It's
knew
got-
some guys playing. I could have went in the clubhouse. Like I had friends, or my brother and friends went down and met Kirby Puckett and Jack Morris. I didn't get to go. I was out of town playing. So
Glenn's been there, I'm sure. It's got the same vibe kind of as Miller Park does, or AmFam. It's got the open, you can see through. That's actually was the first stadium I ever was at that was like that. I was like, this is awesome. You can still kind of see out the stadium, all that. That was before Miller Park was built. That's how, whatever it was Celia Cellular first. Yeah.
U.S. Comiscular.
It's had so many names.
Yeah, so it was kind of cool. It was that open air kind of thing. You could see in when you were out in the concourse. It was awesome. Yeah, it was pretty sweet. So Hop real quick said 25% capacity in Tempe. He heard, and also the new Yankee Stadium is garbage.
yeah, it's very. What would you say? It's sterile.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably
Sterile. I mean, there's a big.
She said.
The big atrium is
Nailed
pretty
it.
awesome. The atrium's awesome. It's got all the flags hanging and all that kind of stuff, and it's like 4 stories high. But it's pretty sterile.
Tampa's like that too. It's
Yeah,
just a
well,
giant,
Tampa's awful.
giant brick cylinder is all that is.
Yeah, that's awful.
Eric's up. Yeah.
I'll take Coors Field just to be in.
Oh, nice.
Colorado.
Yeah, good pick.
Yeah.
Good.
Definitely a hitter's park.
Never been to a game there.
Coors.
me. It's me. I'd like to see how far I get away from home plate. I'd like to go to the Oakland Coliseum. Right?
Yeah, that's a big stadium. Man.
It is huge.
I was wondering where you're going with this.
Hey,
That's what she said.
So me and Hop's next pick, because he picked this and I'll go with him, is Safeco Field in Seattle. Yes, Jace?
You could get some
T-bone
deep fried grasshoppers there.
Oh, well, I'll pass on that. Booth.
Chapiolinas.
And then my last one is going to be, I'm going to go there just because I want to, it just looks colorful and awesome. I'm going to go to the Miami Marlins Stadium down in Miami because it's in Miami. Right. So it's nothing wrong with it. I could go there right now, I wish.
So Safeco's T-Mobile Park now.
Oh,
it is
T-Mobile.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. What the hell's going on here?
I don't know what's
I was at Safeco back in the day when it was Safeco.
Hop said, watch out for the sewage, Willie, at Oakland.
Yeah, I'll back up on you. So the other place I'd like to go is where I get to say a boot, and I'd like to go to Rogers Center in Toronto.
Yep.
Stay in the hotel.
Stay in the hotel and watch somebody watch me, watch somebody. Yeah.
It's a cool stadium. Actually, walking in because the roof comes out of the stadium essentially when it turns and it's like right above you as you walk in.
Get in the mic.
Yeah, I know, and it's right above you. And there's like these big gold statues, and it's pretty cool.
That's how, you're talking about the stadium, the ceiling moving out. Isn't that how the Ram Stadium is now? Doesn't it kind of go over, like make like a atrium kind of, and then it goes back in? One of the new
correct.
stadiums are like
Yes,
that.
yes,
Yeah, so it's kind of cool. They took kind of their idea and probably made it into, well.
Yeah, I went there in the first year, so it was way back. What was that, 91, 90? Probably 90.
Okay. Yeah, it was really new.
It was first year. I was actually there second day, the second time it ever closed during the game. It's pretty cool.
Eric?
Well, so when you put this list out, you did not say specifically MLB stadiums. Ooh. So I know the basement benchwarmers keep talking about doing this minor league ballpark tour and doing some traveling. So how about the Louisville Slugger Field in Louisville, Kentucky?
Been there.
We could watch Louisville Bats, and then we can start our way over to the Bourbon Trail and make a weekend out of it. And that's, of course, after we hit a little bit of Michigan, like Willie always talks about going to Grand Rapids and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, I don't know if Louisville's on the way to Grand Rapids.
Well, Grand Rapids.
How drunk are you?
We would go to
left
Grand
turn
Rapids
in
first,
South Bend,
in Albuquerque,
and then we would work our way down and then south. Yeah, south. And,
so on the way to Michigan, we'll stop at Dodger Stadium.
That stadium.
I got a C- in geography.
Driven past that stadium many
God
times.
Damn it, Scotty.
Hop put in the National sounds way better, and
we went to a game there.
Been there.
Yeah.
That was a pretty cool minor league park.
Yeah, we did the drinking tour there too.
And we actually
to the concession stand and back.
I will trump Eric's Louisville, and I'd rather go to Nashville instead.
Yeah,
second.
No offense, Eric.
It's a nice stadium.
You been to the National Stadium, Eric? And we can go when they're playing. We can go when they're playing the Iowa Cubs. So that's what we saw when we were there.
Yeah.
So They're both. Well, I've been to Louisville. They're both cool. They're both cool stadiums.
We're talking minor league stadiums here. I would like to go to the
Historic
Dodgers.
Simmons Field.
No, the Dodgers AAA team, Oklahoma City Thunder, or
Wow.
no, Oklahoma City Dodgers or something.
No, it's not the Dodgers.
It's not. Yeah. Their stadium is entirely made out of brick. The outside, it's brick over the metal pillars, and they have. I think they have like how they have the Western Metal Supply Company in Petco. They have some building right on the side of it. It looks like a really cool stadium. It's brand new, 3 years in, I think.
Okay. Where are we?
I think I'm last here.
Yeah, you're tied up.
There's not many stadiums. Houston.
Oh, there you go.
yeah.
It's different. Do they still got that
Minute Maid
mound out
Park?
in center field?
Is it still Minute Maid or is it something else now?
Who knows? It's probably
It's
the
Minute Maid.
Astro.
I've been there.
It's Minute
pretty
Maid
nice.
at the Astrodome Amfam Stadium parking lot. Who knows?
And if the kids get bored, they get to pound on a garbage can for free.
Hey, there you go. It's called.
Hey, so Hop is saying Omaha is the Mecca,
Scott's been
but
there.
isn't the Little League World Series now played in Williamsport? Right?
Well, he's talking about the
saying
college.
No, College World Series Omaha.
College World Series is Omaha. Yeah.
Oh, that's the College World
They
Series.
both.
Okay.
I was at the
I
old.
got it.
I was at the old stadium. I saw Creighton play Nebraska in the old stadium, and then he built a new one. It's like kind of downtown now. It's not too far from the old one. I never been in that one, but the old one was cool. I thought it was awesome, but obviously it went bigger.
The old
better,
one was
and-
right on the highway.
yeah,
too.
it's right next to the zoo.
Yeah, it was.
Right next to the zoo. This one actually is right across the highway. It's right next to the convention center.
Oh,
basically.
okay.
Yeah. So
And we talk about minor league ballparks. The MLB got rid of a lot of minor league teams this year. So
Beloit's building a new one
that's what I heard.
right on the river.
Yeah.
Pretty cool looking. At least the,
Oh, yeah.
the
My-
blueprints are, at least.
they are building more.
My honorable mention is Sloan Park, Mesa, Arizona. That means I would be watching the Cubs play spring training games, which I've never done, and I'd love to do that. So
I thought Eric was going to go with the old Cooper Field in Columbus.
I've been there. Yeah, 10-cent sliders night.
Dude, that place a dump.
It was a total dump. I
10-cent
would talk to
sliders,
people in
$4
Columbus
beers.
that said that they would see, like back in the day, they saw Jeter play there, and they saw like O'Neill and guys like that play there. But when I was there, it was just a bunch of nobodies. 10-cent sliders and natural light on tap.
I saw Mick Foley come out of the dugout when they had like the running presidents or the sausages.
Right.
And Mick Foley comes running out of the dugout as they come by, did a Randall Simon, and took out like 3 of them, with with like an arm bar. It was awesome.
Nobody
Better than Ed
mentioned.
Foley.
Whoops, sorry, Eric. Nobody mentioned the Field of Dreams when the Sox and Yankees finally get to play there.
Yeah, next this summer it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be last summer too.
Yeah, I had that on my list, but I didn't get
I've
there.
been. I've been to the Field of Dreams. Have y'all been there? Well, Jason has been there with me.
I have not. No.
It's kind of cool.
Be kind of cool. Yeah.
It's a tourist trap, but it's in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
And really, you didn't have to pay, so I guess it wasn't a tourist trap. You just went, hung out, saw it, took pictures, and
I heard
was
People
cool.
will come, Ray.
Kevin Costner talked to Dan Patrick about how they got that scene where all the cars were coming in there, and all he did is put out there. He goes, "Hey, we're having a free game for people to come to watch." This is how many people just showed up. It was a live shot of what they're doing. They even tried it. They didn't stage it at all. This is what it was because they wanted people to come in there and watch the game.
People will come, Ray.
That's right.
Build it.
Because that was our snake draft, bucket list baseball stadiums. We might be doing later for football and basketball.
We still haven't even got to our Mount Rushmore. It's
No,
been 4
we're
hours.
getting here. We're getting there now. So real quick, yeah. You're listening to the Basement Benchwarmers podcast. Check us out on Facebook at Basement Benchwarmers, also on Instagram at Basement Benchwarmers, and on Twitter at Base Benchwarmers, and our email is basementbenchwarmers@gmail.com. Mount Rushmore, like we talked about earlier in the show, and this week our Mount Rushmore is going to be AL East teams. So we're going to start with we'll start with Egg and go, then Eric will just rotate who goes first.
What team we starting
We're
with?
going to start with the granddaddy of them all, the New York Yankees. Probably the easiest and toughest one all in one batch. So we're going to start off with them. Ed, you are first. Who you want for the Yankees?
Oh, I want Babe Ruth.
Okay, Babe Ruth off the board. So that's our first on the Basement Benchmarks Mount Rushmore for them. Eric.
I guess I'll have to settle for Lou Gehrig.
Lou Gehrig.
Horrible pick.
We'll have Glenn be
Settle?
our voice of reason when we're done with this, and he can go, you guys are stupid or you guys are awesome. Willie.
I mean, I don't think this is too hard. Mickey Mantle, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, I thought the Yankees was going to be the easiest.
I will go with George Steinbrenner.
Oh, boo. There we go. One guy screwed it up.
Yeah, because he made the model work that people can't make work. I'm just going to pay, and win championships.
Yeah, but
I mean,
he only won 4 or 5 maybe?
Yeah,
I don't know.
modern
They won
day,
100 before that.
modern day. I mean, I'm going to go. I like George Steinbrenner up there just because he was modern day. There's a lot of guys. I mean, Jeter. I mean, go ahead, Glenn.
DiMaggio,
Mr. Coffee.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a good argument though. Wasn't he originally against free agency? He was one that was against the free agency, and he said, if you're going to implement it, I'm going to use it.
Yep.
Yeah. He adjusted.
For the modern day,
improvised.
Daniel Schneider tried it, didn't work for him. There's a lot of teams that try to do it and just doesn't work when you just pay, and you know.
It's like the Dodgers are right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they won with their, and we'll see what happens this year.
Yeah, they only won in a third of a season,
Yeah,
so let's see a whole long
That's
season.
the thing, and all the money you put out there, yep.
There's a ton of money. Yeah. Yeah.
You look really bad if you get 2 injuries or something in that deal.
So we're going to have Eric start us up with the Toronto. We'll go Toronto Blue Jays. Is that cool with everybody? And Eric, you are first for the Blue Jays.
Well, how about Roberto Alomar?
Dave Stieb.
I'm going to go with the biggest at-bat in the history of the Toronto Blue Jays, Joe Carter. Right? He was with them. Yeah.
Yep.
Joe Carter. I'll take Joe Carter. Yep, Joe Carter. And Mitch Williams, nightmare.
Well, I didn't think I was going to have 3 choices left on my list, so I'm going to go Carlos Delgado. Probably the best hitter in Blue Jays history.
What about Bautista for hitting?
Yeah, he's up. I mean, he's close.
He's a beast.
He was my number 5 guy on here.
Yeah. Halliday
was number 2.
Bell, George Bell.
How about the crime dog?
McGriff. You know who I actually had as my final was Tony Fernandez. He had a long career. He had 4 stints with the Blue Jays. Now, he didn't have the numbers of these other guys, but he was a Blue Jay.
Yep. Right. Remember Jimmy Key?
Yeah, oh sure.
Oh yeah.
Olerud.
Yeah,
Olerud. Yeah. I mean, theirs is tough. I mean, you got after Stieb, it really all the rest are arguable.
Yeah, I was looking for players that spent most of their career there, or at least started and spent a long time there. Because we look at Roberto Alomar, he went all over the place.
Mm-hmm. He bounced all around, man.
Yeah.
So Willie, you're going to start us up, and we're going to go to the Orioles.
Orioles. Oh,
Orioles.
It's so easy for me. Brooks Robinson.
Oh, sweet.
I love that guy. I swear to God.
Because I was stuck, but I'm going to go with Cal Ripken.
Well, no, I mean, he's great, too.
No. Yeah, Brooks Robinson was awesome. Not as good as Ron Santo, but...
Whatever.
And
Anyway, hey, ask Ed.
What's up?
Stat-wise, who was better, Robinson or Santo? It was Santo.
By numbers. Just by numbers.
Who had more World Series?
Well,
Brooks Robinson was a flashier player.
Robinson was awesome, though. He was. I'm not.
The human vacuum cleaner.
He was great.
Back in the day.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Yep.
As a third baseman, that's who you liked watching.
Yeah. Ed.
I'm going to go one of the greatest switch hitters ever, besides Mickey Mantle, Eddie Murray.
Eddie Murray.
What do you have? 500 home runs, 3,000 hits. He's in that elusive club.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There's only 3 or 4 guys in that.
I'll take the other Robinson, Frank Robinson.
It's a good pick. He didn't have a lot of years there, but he was MVPs there. What do you got, Glenn?
Jim Palmer.
Yeah, Palmer would be the one I would say is missing.
What is he famous for?
You just like the underwear ads.
Yeah, that's right.
And his trucking company.
Or Earl Weaver.
That's
Earl Weaver. I thought about picking Earl
I
Weaver.
had him on my list.
I would have took him if he would have took Ripken.
Never won it, but built the team that won it the year he retired.
Hey, the best arguer with the umpires ever. I mean, if you want to see some classic footage, go on to
him
YouTube.
And Lee Elia.
Yeah, Twib, This Week in Baseball.
So I will start the Rays, whatever they're called.
Tough one.
I'm going to start the Rays, and I'm going to go off the chart a little bit. Never really kind of gave them a little prominence for where they were and all that. I'm going to go with Joe Madden, actually. This short history of them, I think he deserves to be there. There's a couple players, but they're so thin. I'm going to go with Joe Madden.
I'm going to go Evan Longoria. He was there the longest, and he's pretty much most recognizable Ray ever.
Eric.
Well, I want to take this guy just because of the Cubs situation. So I will. I'll take Ben Zobrist.
He's on my list.
Yeah, that's a good call.
I think I'm going to go with Carl Crawford.
Oh,
Yep.
nice.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I just had Shields and Pena.
Yeah, Carlos Pena. How long was he there for? He was there for a little bit.
Yeah, I would say Carlos Pena. He should make the list. I mean, he's right up there.
I think
Who
it was
was
like
the other one?
9 or 10 years there.
You said Shields?
Shields pitcher, yeah.
I mean, you got Price, too.
Price, yeah.
Yeah.
They're all pretty weak. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah. And they didn't spend a ton of time there because it seemed like their
'Cause
early
that's the
years
type
they
of
were
team they
leaving
were.
a lot. They were leaving
Yeah.
the Rays.
Matt Garza.
Well, they move on constantly from their players. They only
Yeah.
last like 4 or 5 years. I mean, look what they did with Snell again. And it's going to be Glass now, and he's going to be their new stud, and then they're going to trade him for prospects. Just how it works.
It's like eggs in your fridge.
Yeah.
Just get rid of them every.
Just keep
when they
shifting
go
them
bad,
out.
Yep.
Eggs don't go bad.
So our next team, Ed will start us up with the final team in the AL East, and that'll be the New York Yankee. I'm sorry, the Boston Red
I
Sox.
was like,
Didn't Ed just start?
Yeah, it's not. Well, my favorite player of all time. I'll take Ted Williams.
Ted Williams. Stretch, but
Yeah,
okay. No, I'm just kidding.
I got gypped because Ed started twice. I didn't get to start at all. But
You started.
no,
You
I'm going to go with
should have started
Yastrzemski.
You should have started the. You started the Blue Jays or Orioles.
You started the Orioles.
Yeah.
Did I?
You took Frank Robinson.
Nope, that was Willie.
Then he was the Blue Jays.
Yeah,
I don't remember. Anyway, I'll take Yaz.
he started the Blue Jays. And he took some guy we never heard of. Go on, sorry, you took Yaz.
Yeah, I got Yaz.
Last Triple Crown winner. That's a pretty good pick.
Exactly.
Willie.
I'd like to go with the Gold Glove winner, Pedro Martinez, with Don Zimmer.
I'm going to go with one of the most clutch hitters in baseball history, Mo Vaughn. Right? Not Mo Vaughn.
How about Ortiz?
Yeah. Oh, David Ortiz. I'm sorry. David Ortiz, I meant.
That's what I thought you were talking about.
Oh, my God.
Mo Vaughn. Wow.
Right?
I should have went with his nickname, not his name, and that would have been easier.
right.
So, yeah, David Ortiz is one of the most clutch hitters in baseball history in the playoffs, and was a good during the season player too. He wasn't bad.
Two of my favorite guys growing up were left off that list so far. What do you think, Willie?
Fisk,
Well, Fisk he's close, but
Cy Young.
I got Boggs and Clemens.
Oh, yeah, Clemens, yeah. What about Dwight Evans?
I love Dwight Evans.
Man,
But
that guy had a cannon.
yeah, I don't know if he'd make the top 4, but
No,
he was awesome.
Yeah.
Him and Freddie Lynn out in that outfield, and Jim Rice.
Oh, yeah.
That's a pretty good outfield.
Hell yeah.
Garcia Parra.
Garcia Parra came over to Cubs and did shit.
So
Super nice guy though.
I'm curious what Jace has to say about these.
Pedroia?
Hop's correcting you. Cabrera won the Triple Crown.
Did he?
Ooh.
You said Yaz was the last guy.
I thought he
That's
was.
right. That's right.
Cabrera, and then Cabrera won it.
Oh, I don't keep up on that. crap.
Fans, a couple of fans throw out things out here. Chris Klein was when talking about Yankees. Roger Maris he threw in there. Hop threw Dave Steve. Chris Klein said Palmeiro. Hop said no Palmeiro. We don't take cheaters though. No, I'm just kidding. Longoria Hop threw out there. Clemens
and Boggs, like I said.
Wade Boggs and then Miguel Cabrera won the Triple Crown.
Huh. I didn't know that.
So
Didn't somebody pick Longoria?
2012.
yeah. It's just they threw him out there. I think maybe as we were talking about the team, I didn't turn. I was on a different page. So, So thank you for
Cabrera's still
that.
playing in the league too, isn't he?
Yeah, he's still with the Tigers. They still paying him.
Cow.
Yeah, he's there.
It's like the old janitor he can't get rid of because the union.
Because he's got the keys. He's not going to give them up.
What happened to him though? He was like the most feared hitter in baseball for like a 7 or 8 year stretch, and then just disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
Injuries.
He's not that old. He's still not that old, I don't think.
Kind of real quick, one more thing before we go, or one other thing, not before I go, but whatever. I know we talked about this week on the chat or whatever. Mike Pettin's going to Chicago. I know there was a joke going around. I know Eric said, good luck. And I said, well, as long as he doesn't bring Kevin King, I think we'll be fine. Ed laughed.
Snickered.
He's just a senior defensive assistant. So I want to look this up, and I was interested about this. Not that he's running the defense or anything. Well, maybe he is. Who knows with these teams? He could be running the team. Matt Nagy, who knows? I don't know. But the question I have is, I would have to guess the Packer defense improved from last year. Right? number-wise, probably.
Yeah, they did. I think by the end of this season they were like 9th.
And the thing about Pettin, I think someone told me this, and maybe that's what we missed in the whole thing. I think he was out of contract. I don't think he was fired. Is that true? Not that if he got fired out of contract either way, it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm just asking. Well, I'm just wondering.
That's possible. I know that at the end of last season, there was a little bit of a. I heard there was a little bit of some turmoil with him and LaFleur, and LaFleur not being confident about bringing him back, and then Pettin kind of, well, what the hell, and so, I don't know what the whole situation with his contract was. I think he was on his way out no matter what, but Hop says he wasn't asked back.
He looks angry. That's all I'm going to say.
That's a good picture of him, though. I like that picture.
We should put that picture up when I do my shower stall.
It's like he's staring at you in the shower.
Logo, man, and he looks like a Bears coach, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. I don't know. He looks like, I don't know. What does a Bears coach look like? I don't know.
Like, Iron, that's an Iron Mike look there.
Knock it off.
Yeah, he was chewing gum real fast right there.
Yeah.
That's.
I forgot he was like the Browns head coach.
Yes, he was. Yes, for a cup of coffee. Yeah. That's all I've got. Anybody else got any random thoughts? Anything you want to throw out there before we go? I know Eric was.
I've got one random thought, and this name's come up a couple times tonight. Eric, you can answer this. If you were falsely accused of killing Kevin King, would you hire Matlock, Columbo, or Scooby-Doo to get you off the charges?
Definitely Scooby-Doo.
They always got their man. It was always,
It always ended up.
It was Mr. Crothers, He was wearing a mask. Yeah, I agree.
Zoinks place smell like IPA.
There's a growing I don't know what you call it, but they're trying now to boycott the 2022 Olympics because it's in Beijing, and they're because of COVID being tied to China.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
I would not go there for other reasons personally.
Yeah, I agree.
I think COVID's the least of our problems with that country.
1980 Olympics.
Exactly, yeah, there you go. Are we going to make a stand like Jimmy Carter did in our country?
That's right,
yeah.
You know what? I want to talk about that. I'm sorry, not
China
Jimmy Carter.
He likes peanuts.
So I've been watching Peyton's Place.
Penis.
I've been watching Peyton's Place.
All right.
And I've watched them all, and you have to watch them. I recommend them all, but it's pretty great. I mean, it's pretty neat. Willie Gault was on there, and he actually lost his chance to go to the Olympics because of the boycott. He actually won in 1983. He won a 4x100 meter medal at the World Champions, gold medal with Carl Lewis on the team. But just brought up that, and it was one of the things. And just remember Jimmy Carter because he was the one that they showed speaking about not going. Mm. So I wonder if now back to Beijing, do you think our country will make a stand like that? I doubt it because we're not
not with this.
No, we're not that country now.
No.
So
we should do our own.
No, we don't even. Are they even going to play the national anthem for us when we're there?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Just to raise fists.
What was that, Eric?
Is Mark Cuban in charge of the anthem?
We could do our podcast from Beijing.
Yeah,
masks optional.
I'd rather go to Taiwan.
I'm pretty sure we would not be out of there without getting arrested for something. I would not be coming back. I'm going to tell you.
Next week is the big 50th.
Yeah, the 50th.
52 is the thing.
Willie's pushing 52. 50 is
52 is a year
for 1 year.
Yeah, 52 is the 1 year anniversary of the Benchwarmers podcast in a couple weeks.
52 like 10 years ago. What are you talking about?
What's the date of our 50?
3 weeks. It'll be right around St. Patrick's Day. Probably would be. Yeah, because that's when we started the week after.
Right.
Yep.
We're all liquored up.
So it's going to be like around March.
Something.
It's right before the NCAA starts,
March
which
8th.
is all in.
I might miss it.
March 8th.
I might get sick again.
So ESPN Payne's Place. He's a pretty funny guy. Yeah. So I'll talk about maybe more of that next week. Kind of a little long tonight, but hey, whatever. Yeah, we have nothing to talk about.
Nothing at all.
Nothing to talk about. We sat here and talked for like 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
That's right.
So let's go like we always do. Closing thoughts. We'll start with Ed because he's always got a closing thought.
I'm looking for something. We used them up today.
What's a closing thought?
All right. How about this one? It's good to know that multiple companies are currently working together on a vaccine passport for travel, both internationally and domestic. Nothing like limiting the travel of tax-paying citizens while at the same time allowing illegals to flood across their southern border and spread to all corners of the country without so much as a temperature scan. And just so I'm on the right page, it's constitutional to ban people without a vaccine from going into restaurants, airports, grocery stores, and entertainment events. But it's wrong to ask for an ID to vote in an election. No, that wasn't really a closing thought, but I just had more crap on here.
Since we'll go just Jace, any closing thoughts?
I got a shovel.
Eric, anything, Eric?
So how do we leave the greatest closer in Major League Baseball history off of a Mount Rushmore? That's how incredible the Yankees organization's been all these years that we didn't mention Mariano.
Oh yeah, Wetland was really good. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's Chapman.
So,
John Wetland.
Yeah. So
I can't
on
believe
that
you forgot
note,
the drunk
my
and threw a
closing
no-hitter.
thought is Enter Sandman.
Okay.
Greatest Panamanian player ever.
Yep. Next to the, I was going to say the devil, but that's Tasmanian devil. Never mind. Glenn.
Yeah, just a thought. What's worse, living in Wisconsin and getting the snow that we've gotten, or living in Texas and getting 2 or 3 inches?
That's what she said.
And they say things are bigger in Texas.
That's right.
Willie, anything?
Hey, I'm just.
Let me guess. Dart ball.
No, I have nothing to say. I'm really irritated.
There's a big cube tourney next week. I'm indoors at the Moose.
A rousing
I-
tournament.
I'm really irritated about the fact that I wasn't able to park in the driveway tonight because the way that Jace parked.
My truck. I
Nice
had
truck.
a valet when I got
I
here.
said valet, yes. Yes, you did.
The bench warmers are fancy. You
Yes,
got
that's
valets now here.
I
Valet.
pulled up there and I couldn't even get in the driveway because he was parked right in the middle. So
It was great. I come out, I just was like, Garçon, and I just threw my keys and walked in.
And he did.
That's all my French.
So yeah, I'm pretty pissed off. I guess I get here earlier. I guess.
Okay. I think the new look is working for us. We'll see how long it goes, but I think it's more appeasing to the eye. So
Tell your friends to watch from now on.
yeah. Tell everybody to join in. Check us out. Like us on Twitter at Base Benchwarmer, and also like us on Facebook, and also like us at Instagram at Basement Benchwarmers. If you want to get a hold of us, it's at basementbenchwarmers@gmail.com. So,
Or Ed's number is 262.
and I think that's all we got. You know, my one closing thought comes from this, and it comes watching last night's game. And I'll say this: I watched the game. I was watching the Bucks game last night. And they went to a highlight, or I maybe changed channels after the Bucks lost, and I turned on the Portland game. They were playing. Who were they playing last night? I can't remember. They won. It was Mavericks. Yeah, the Mavericks. They beat the Mavericks. And Portland's wearing these jerseys that they're brown, like Cleveland brown
I
colors.
saw that, yeah.
And they say Oregon across them. No, I got thinking. You know, I'm a thinker. Okay. So this is a sport that kind of, number one, a lot of people that watch these sports, any sport, football, baseball, basketball, can't afford a lot of things. Okay. So we're talking about basketball. To get in the stadium, it costs you, upwards of $100 at the cheap per person just to get in the stadium and food. Then they make these jerseys every other week that change. You know why? Not because they want to look cool, because they want you to buy them. This is the league that wants to make us feel bad for things going on in the world, but they're just adding to the problem of the capitalism problem in this country, and they're the biggest problem with it. And every time I see New Jersey, I just laugh out loud. In New Jersey, I just laugh because there's some kid that their family can barely afford to eat, but they want a jersey because they saw the New Jersey LeBron wears, And instead of sitting there and telling us how to live our lives, why don't you guys tell the league, stop doing this? Let's stick to 2 jerseys. Let's have a night where, my father-in-law said a few years ago, like a Bucks game. 10 minutes after the game starts, every seat in the ends of the stadium, upper deck, are $10.
There you
Or
go.
$20 and you get a hot dog and a soda.
Right.
So
Fill
maybe
the-
a family
fill
will
the
go wait
stadium.
outside, and they'll wait outside, and that's back when the barely started. Now it might be harder, but if the stadium's not sold out and the ends, you don't got to do the sides or anything. If you want to get $20, get you a hot dog, a soda, and a seat in the stadium. 10 minutes, 50, even after the first quarter, I don't care. Let other people that can't afford to go to these games and let them see it, and let them get the feeling they may never get to see. But they tell us every day we're evil, and we're the bad person.
But we're still the ones filling those seats all the time.
Yeah, everybody still goes to the games and still does it, and pay. Although elote is a good deal, $6.
Yeah, the elote, it's well worth the selling out for my moral values.
I mean, NFL, I get away with because you can go to an NFL game and when you go to a game, you can tailgate and stuff. You don't have to buy a thing in the stadium, which I very rarely buy a thing in the stadium because we eat outside. Whatever, that's awesome. Baseball's kind of the same way. Well, in Chicago, it's tough, but you go to before the bars and stuff, you may not get anything. Really, AmFam, whatever, Miller Park. You can tailgate outside and stuff.
You could bring food in now.
Basketball's tough.
To baseball.
Yeah, well, it depends on the stadium because the Cubs don't let you allow certain things in, like peanuts and certain things. They let you bring peanuts in. I was, but it's hard to bring. I know Miller Park's really friendly about that.
Miller Park's really friendly.
But football and basketball, no.
American Family Field.
No, you could bring food into Soldier Field as long as it's in the clear. So you bring Saran wrap and you can wrap your burgers and hot dogs and bring them in.
But you can't bring a beer in.
Well, I mean,
He stops me every time. Right?
Ed tried to bring it and wrap it in a
shot.
ball.
You could bring weed
one
time.
You could bring weed in there.
Yeah, because I know one time they caught a buddy of mine with food. They told him to throw it out.
I mean, how was it though?
It was wrapped in aluminum foil.
Maybe because of the foil
in his pocket.
Maybe because of the foil. Because
if it's in a plastic bag in foil, it's different.
Remember that time?
I don't know why.
Yeah.
They stopped me when I was bringing shots in that one time. Remember that? They looked in my hood. Stupid Willie. Willie did that. He filled my hood with shots.
I would never thought in a million years they'd check your hood.
Not me. I look innocent.
I always bring stuff in my pockets in the game, like leftover from the. Well, it depends how much you eat at tailgate. But we, Bob, our buddy Bob, always brings food in all the time. In his pockets, in the winter, get away with it because you're wearing so much crap. As long as you don't put the buzzer off.
So back to the NBA. It's a stadium full of rich white guys watching minorities play a game that can't even get into the game as kids.
Pretty much.
That's basically it.
Who make $1 billion each
once
almost
they get
now.
there.
Yeah.
But yeah, you think about the biggest fan of
everybody
the sport
there has money,
can't afford to go to it
or buy a jersey.
Yep.
Yeah, would you say 95% of the people in a stadium on any given day are middle upper class?
At least middle class.
95% at least.
At least.
Yeah. So. And we're furthering the capitalistic adventure, or, whatever you want to call it.
All those
experience
owners, or what do they call them now? Can't call them owners.
Can't call them owners. So yeah, there's all this crap
Managers.
going on.
What were they called?
If we
Eric, Eric, what are they
Can't
called?
call them governors.
Governors. Yeah, right. Governor.
Governors.
Governor.
Yeah, that's it.
Governor.
Governor.
Yeah.
Scott, was that the end of the bench then that you just did?
Kinda, a little bit.
Yeah,
I guess
kinda.
Cuban was part of it. And I didn't really. I really
Or
don't
was
have
it
a
a random thought.
I don't have a closing thought. I don't have a closing thought very often. That was just came to my head watching the game last night. I just off the top of my head, I remember that. I kind of was like, look at this.
All right.
And the jersey was got awful too. Just so you know. So yeah, once again with the Basement Brunch Warriors podcast. Check us out on Facebook Live every Monday night. Also, we're on Twitch now, and also you can find us on Periscope. And there's one more you can find us on. I can't remember.
Periscope. Holy
Mondays at 7:15.
We made it big.
Yep. So we are the Basement Brunch Warriors podcast. Thank you guys. Stay healthy and wash your hands.
Another 2 months on the road, just 2 more miles. I'll be home to what I know. Where things move a little slower, and people always wave goodbye and say hello. And the maples on this road, they must be 300 years old. Just imagine all the stories they could tell. Of the tractors and the cars all coming home from Liston's bar, and the country folk just out to raise some hell, to raise some hell. This is my home, this is where I belong, where my daughters go to school, where opinions are strong, where my neighbors are my friends, and the story never ends. So I just hit the ground and keep on running all of yesterday. you try to pick up all the pieces, put it all back the way that it belongs. Well, the next thing that you know, it's time to play another show. I'm leaving out of here just after dawn. Ain't it good to know that no matter where you go, that this town has got your back when you are gone, when you are gone. And this is my home, this is where I belong, where my daughters go to school, where opinions are strong, and my amendment rights to keep me safe at night, where my neighbors are my friends, and the story never This is my home, this is where I belong, where my daughters go to school, where opinions are strong, where my amendment rights keep me safe at night, where my neighbors are my friends, and the story never ends. The story never ends. Another 2 months on